closing in on opening day 2023. Also getting close to the release of Out of the Park Baseball 24. There's Robbie Wertberg. Also, I guess Baseball Mogul 2024 coming up around the same time. Still haven't heard anything from Richard Dombrov, so we'll wait there. Hopefully Thursday or tomorrow night at least I will download the latest editions of Steve Tate's Negro League files. Maybe get a game in there. The Ned McGreevy Nuff Said League is over as of last night, and so we're going to wait probably till next week to do the 3-game World Series, and there's Steve Tate. Steve, just mentioning you, and going to be featuring your Negro League file probably Thursday night. I'm hoping Thursday night or Friday night. So good to see you, my friend. It's been a while. I'm doing all right, Robbie. Had to work a different schedule today. That's why I'm on. I thought I was going to be on tonight, but work needed me early because somebody called off. And I haven't done any Out of the Park baseball in a while, so I thought it would be fun to just do a little exhibition game between two teams and just revisiting another game that I love. So I know that Steve, I haven't had a chance to watch it yet. Steve putting up a video, an update as of yesterday where the Negro League file is, so I still got to check that out. An updated file by then. Over 350 players. Oh, man. Looking forward to it, Steve. So, and then after the McGreevy League next week, we're going to jump into the tournament and Action PC Baseball, which will be a lot of fun. And then starting the, hopefully, with Steve getting up to 350, we'll be able to, with his kind permission, he's going to allow me to go ahead and start doing some just highlighting. So we'll start with some exhibition games just for fun, so you guys can see the brilliance of it. Especially since I did show you guys last week we didn't play a game, but and I still suggest you get it. The Negro League Top 20 teams just to play around with to support Action PC Baseball, but also you'll really appreciate the hard work that Steve put into what he's done. So Robbie works tomorrow through Saturday. All right. Yep, World Series next week. All right, anytime. I would definitely do that, Steve. So I thought tonight we would just pick. This was a mod that somebody did, so I'm not responsible for the players and the teams. And even though I have a season started, I thought we'd just play an exhibition game tonight, 2 teams. So I think we will have the Minnesota Twins against the Detroit Tigers. Why not? Let's play. I still love this game very much. I still think Out of the Park Baseball is a brilliant baseball simulation. So here we go. So of course, this version of the Minnesota Twins will also include the original Washington Senators. Let me see here. So leading off at second base, Buddy Meyer. Batting second in right field, Tony Oliva. Batting third in center field, Kirby Puckett. Batting cleanup, first baseman Harmon Killebrew. Batting fifth at shortstop, Joe Cronin. Batting sixth, left fielder Torrey Hunter. Batting seventh, third baseman Gary Gaetti. Earl Batty will be catching and batting eighth, and taking the mound for the Minnesota Twins, Bobo Newsom. For the hometown Detroit Tigers, leading off at shortstop, Alan Trammell. Batting second, left fielder Al Kaline. And you're wondering why is Kaline in left? Because batting third in center field, Ty Cobb. Batting cleanup, first baseman Hammer and Hank Greenberg. Batting fifth in right field, Harry Heilman. Batting sixth, second baseman Sweet Lou Whitaker. Why the hell is he not in the Hall of Fame? Batting seventh and catching, Bill Freehan. Batting eighth and playing third base, Placido Polanco. And batting ninth and pitching, Schoolboy Rowe. So let's get to the game. I guess we should have a designated hitter since this is the American League. No warm-ups, and we're just going to let the computer do them both. And let's get to the ballpark. This is called Cooperstown, Robbie. Steve Tate says the Action Top 20 Negro League file is nice too. It is. It definitely is. So here we are. This is a nice rendering of Comerica Park, and that's the other thing about Out of the Park Baseball. It's beautiful, and they're teasing some of the graphics for the new one. It looks like they've tarted them up just a little bit. I don't know if we can get in any closer. What's the default camera? I don't like the default camera. You get a bigger view of Comerica, but we're going to stay sort of low and wide on it, the wide camera. All right. So I haven't updated my Out of the Park picture file for a while, so I apologize for the few of the face gen pictures, but we're here just to have fun and talk some baseball. So leading off here for the visiting Minnesota Twins in this exhibition game is Buddy Meyer. So Buddy Meyer, thus far in this season, hitting 107. No, 167. God, I'm going blind. Schoolboy Row, ready to work to Meyer. It's 49 degrees, chilly day here in the Motor City. And here's a delivery. And Buddy Meyer swings on this one, and this one sent to center. And I got to fix the sound. Oh, my God. Can you believe that? Such an idiot I am. Forgot to do that. All right. Begging your indulgence here for a moment. There we go. That's better. So Buddy Meyer aboard for Tony Oliva. Yeah, thank you, Steve. I know that Christopher Slovic likes to be more down on the field with this game, but I think it looks better sort of out the way it is to see the field. If it ever gets to MLB The Show level, then that's different. But this game is just so amazing looking, especially when you go back to the very first iteration. And Marcus Heinsohn is saying that their goal eventually is that it's going to have MLB The Show level graphics with this deep engine. Can't wait for that to happen. Steve telling Robbie to keep the lookout for the Sweetheart of the Rodeo. Good to see you around again, Steve. Definitely missed you, my friend. Looking forward to some just head-to-head baseball at some point again. I believe you and I are tied, or you might be a game up on me. All right, Meyer, good lead at first as Schoolboy Row delivers to Tony Oliva. Oliva swings, and this one a clean base hit into center field. And rounding second and going to third is going to be Buddy Meyer. So runners at the corners for Minnesota. Nobody out for Kirby Puckett. May his memory be eternal. Bats righty, good contact. Decent power. Schoolboy Row working from the stretch in the 1-2 to Puckett. High fly ball to left field, but camping under it and making the nice easy catch is K-Line, but tagging is Buddy Meyer, and he will score standing here in the top of the first. Minnesota picking up a run. One down for the killer, Harmon Killebrew. So serious power for Killebrew. Oliva, good speed at first. The 1-0, and Killebrew laces this to left. This is going to get down for a base hit. So third hit for the Minnesota Twins. Oliva at second, Killebrew at first for Hall of Fame shortstop Joe Cronin. And again, I'm not going to worry about averages and stuff because I'm pulling an exhibition out of a season already in progress. But good baseball fans here know about these players anyhow. Schoolboy Row delivers. Cronin swings on the 1-0. And the Tigers will turn two. The 6-4-3 double play retires the side, but the Twins grab first blood, as it were. So Minnesota 1 and the Detroit Tigers coming to back. Bottom of the first. Alan Trammell will lead it off. Bobo Newsom will deal the 1-0 delivery to Trammell. Trammell swings, grounder to third, slow grounder, but up with it, and in plenty of time is Gary Gaetti to retire Alan Trammell for out number one here. Chilly day here in the Motor City in this beautiful retro ballpark, Comerica Park. Almost as nice as PNC Park. Here's the great Wahoo Sam Crawford. I said I wouldn't mention averages, but in this little league I'm playing offline right now, Sam hitting .353, so doing a lot better than he did in the Ned McGreevy League. One of baseball's 20th century's early power hitters. Dangerous hitter at bat. Bats left. Bobo Newsom with the 2-0 to Sam Crawford. Crawford swings hard grounder to second. And this is going to be a throwing error. And Crawford is going to go to second. So Buddy Myers' throw to Allison is in the dirt. Bob Allison having to run all the way over to the stands to get this. And Sam Crawford in scoring position. And Crawford has some wheels. He can steal a base for you. And here's Hammer and Hank Greenberg. There are not enough superlatives to talk about Greenberg. So Earl Batty has the sign Gold Glove catcher, and also Gold Glove in center field for these Minnesota Twins. Newsom wheels and deals, and Greenberg goes down on strikes. That's the 3-2 pitch, 2 down. Crawford remains at second for Ty Cobb. Newsom rubbing up the ball. Deal into the Georgia Peach full count, and Cobb swings right through this. Strike 3. Good old country fastball, side retired, no runs, no hits, no errors, a runner left. We go to the top of the second. Minnesota 1, Detroit nothing. Looking at this outfield from left to right for the Tigers. Al Kaline, Ty Cobb, Sam Crawford. The infield from first to third, Hank Greenberg, Lou Whitaker, Alan Trammell, Placido Polanco. Catching tonight, Bill Freehan, and Schoolboy Rowe on the mound. And we will look at the Minnesota defense when we get to the bottom of the second. Torrey Hunter steps in. I always think of Torrey Hunter more as an angel than a twin, but there you go. Bats righty, good contact hitter, Torrey Hunter. Schoolboy Rowe is neither struck out nor walked a batter. Wheels and deals the 1-0. Hunter pops this one in the infield, and camping under it and making the catch is Hank Greenberg. So 1 up, 1 down here in the top of the second. Again, getting ready for baseball season 2023, even with all this weirdness. First baseman Bob Allison. In against Schoolboy Rowe. Rowe with the 2-1 delivery, winds and deals. And swinging on this one, Allison sends this one deep to left, and this one is gone. Oh, I'm sorry, that was, solo jack for Bob Allison. And the Twins take a 2-0 lead. This one went 390 feet. Got his money's worth on that one. Let's have a look at that one again. So Rowe fires it in, and this one just gone. Good high arcing one. This one going back about 5 rows. 2-0 Minnesota. RGO Network says, "Hey there, I just took the long and winding road to you." That definitely counts. That was the Beatles' final #1 hit. And for most bands, that song in itself is a career. But the Beatles going out with class on top. On that Let It Be album, which actually was done, the Beatles hated it, shelved it. George Martin said, "Come on, lads, if we're going to go out, let's go out big time." So Abbey Road was their final album. Let It Be was released after. But you had Let It Be, Long and Winding Road, Across the Universe. Amazing. And the rest of the album is just phenomenal. But the Beatles going out with 3 classics on their final studio album, released chronologically. Schoolboy Rowe lets it go now. The 2-2 to Gary Gaetti. Gaetti cuts on this one. Weak ground ball to first. Taking this one unassisted is Hank Greenberg. So out number 2. And that brings up catcher Earl Batty. I like these. I like the 1960s Minnesota teams. I always liked Earl Batty. I mean, I didn't know him. Obviously, wasn't watching baseball in 1960s because, well, I kind of wasn't around. But I always thought Earl Batty was one of those forgotten players who was a pretty damn good catcher. Pretty damn good catcher. 2 away, 2-0 lead. Robert, of course, continuing his 1988 replay. Batty swings, grounded to second, and up with it is Sweet Lou Whitaker to retire Earl Batty. Second inning is gone. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left. Minnesota padding their lead. It's 2-0. Big clue. They should have let it be. No, it's the Stones that should have let it be. Nobody, because the Beatles had #1 hits after they broke up, and the Stones, well, the Stones are the Stones. Anyhow, though, Paul McCartney and Jagger and Keith Richards and Ronnie Wood working on a project together, so that should be interesting. And apparently Ringo Starr is also involved. So Beatles Stones, will that end the great rivalry? I doubt it. Stones a good band, but even take the Beatles out of the equation, and I'm sorry, but Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, and The Who kick the living crap out of the Rolling Stones. Sorry, Steve, I know you're a big Stones fan. They're very great. They're a very important band, but if I take the Beatles out of the equation, give me Zeppelin, give me The Who any day over the Stones. Only because the Stones weren't really trailblazers in that way, but excellent music. Steve, of course, a big AC/DC fan, and it's been a while since he's been around to even give me a little bit of ribbing about that so-called band. Harry Heilman will lead it off here for Detroit. He'll be followed by Lou Whitaker and Al Kaline. Bobo Newsom is fan 2 in this game. 1-2 delivery to Heilman. Heilman takes called third strike. So Heilman will make his slow way back to the bench as the ball goes around the horn here at Comerica. Lou Whitaker, and again, can anybody give me a reason why Whitaker is not in the Hall of Fame? Batting left here. Newsom with the 3-1 to Sweet Lou. Whitaker lays off the 3-1 pitch and draws the walk. So Whitaker aboard, 1 down for Al Kaline. That's the first walk issued by Bobo Newsom. Earl Batty sets the target for Newsom. Newsom with a check of Whitaker at first. Here is the 0-1 delivery, and this one laced into right, base hit. So Newsom giving up the hit. Whitaker going for third, and he is safe. So runners at the corners for the Tigers. Kaline at first, Whitaker at third, and it brings up catcher Bill Freehan. RGO Network saying Led Zeppelin practically invented hard rock. And John Bonham was an amazing drummer. Bonzo, bonzo, bonzo. Yep. And Steve Tate also loves The Who, Led Zeppelin, and the Kinks. There actually was, big clue. And Paul McCartney talked about this recently. They were talking in 1979 about possibly getting together. They were all interested in doing a studio album, and they were in active talks to do it. A lot of their business, they decided, even with the remaining business issues among them, they had, at least, unlike Pink Floyd, which, by the way, the feud continues. It just heated up again within the past week or two between Roger Waters and David Gilmour. These guys just not getting it, apparently. The Beatles were in active talks to go back into the studio. They were hoping, weirdly enough, by the end of 1980 and the beginning of 1981, they wanted to do a studio album. Even George Harrison was on board, the most reticent of the four. And then 8 December 1980, those dreams were dashed, as far as the four of them being physically together and playing. But in 1995, the 2 songs that came out, Free as a Bird and Real Love, were recorded officially as the Beatles. So pretty cool. And you're right, longevity does not equal greatness. Newsom pitching from the stretch, 1 down to Bill Freehan. Freehan swings, and this one going deep to left, and this one out of here. Freehan with a 3-run jack to left. And there's an animation I never saw before. Going off there, a little bit of fireworks stuff. Like the sparks from The Natural or something. Anyhow, The Tigers take a 3-2 lead here in the bottom of the second. So again, those of you wondering, the Ned McGreevy League is over. We go to the World Series in that next week, 3 games. And it's Manchester against Philadelphia. So tough break for Cleveland, who held second place for the longest time, but fell into a little slump, and it was just enough for Philadelphia to take over. So big thank you to all 9 managers in that league, I should say, and to the community for backing it. 19th century and dead ball baseball. I was so shocked, pleasantly so. All right, Placido Polanco now at bat with the bases empty. 3 Detroit runs in here. It's 3-2. Newsom comes with it now. Polanco swings, and this one's going to get in down for a base hit into center field. Polanco thought about 2, but he's going to hold. So 1 down. Polanco will steal the occasional base. And here's Alan Trammell back at the top of the order for the Motor City Cats. Newsom checks Polanco at first. Here's the delivery. The runner going. This one grounded to short. The only play is going to be to first as Cronin comes up with it. So Trammell's retired. 2 down. Placido Polanco in scoring position for Wahoo Sam Crawford. Crawford 0 for 1 today. Newsom checks the runner. The 0-2 to Sam Crawford. High fly ball to center. And ranging to his right and under it is Kirby Puckett to make the catch. But Detroit picks up 3 runs, and it's 3-2 as we go to the bottom of the third. George Harrison had no reticence to collaborate with Orbison, Petty, Jeff Lynne, etc. A few years later, now they had a good sound. Yeah, John Bonham slammed the drums. No, and I mean George Harrison had a great. He was so happy with the Traveling Wilburys, and what a great band. Many argue that there have been other supergroups like Asia, but really the Traveling Wilburys, veritable legends, and love their stuff. All right, Buddy Meyer, we're back at the top of the Minnesota order, and Buddy Meyer is 1 for 1. He'll be followed by Tony Oliva and Kirby Puckett. Talk about Gold Gloves here. Bill Freehan, Gold Glove catcher, and then at third, Placido Polanco, Trammell at short, Whitaker at second, and of course Cobb and Crawford. There were no Gold Gloves then, but certainly possibility there. The pitch to Meyer. Meyer swings, grounded to first, and up with it is Hank Greenberg. Underhanded toss to scoreboard row covering for out number 1. Tony Oliva now. Oliva 1 for 1. We're not seeing Rod Carew in this starting lineup. I let the computer set them. We'll see if we see Rod Carew later on in the game. Rowe peers in, has the sign for Bill Freehan. Here's the wind in the 2-1. Oliva swings. Grounded deep to second. Should not be a problem for Lou Whitaker, and it's not. The 4-3 put out, 2 down here in the top of the third in Detroit. And Kirby Puckett has an RBI. Sacrificed. Puckett looks at a third strike on the outside corner. Side retired as the Twins go in order, and we go to the bottom of the third inning. It's Detroit 3, Minnesota 2. Hammer and Hank Greenberg, Ty Cobb, and Harry Heilman due up. Interesting that the computer didn't have Cobb leading off. Very, very strange. But again, just wanted to fire up a game and have some fun. I definitely would not be batting Cobb fourth. Newsom delivers now to Hank Greenberg. He struck out last time and struck out now, so Hammer and Hank has been fanned twice by Bobo Newsom, and that's his 4th strikeout of the game. He's also issued a free pass. And here's the Georgia Peach. Nothing for 1. The delivery, the 0-1, and Cobb lines this one to center, and diving stop. What a play by Kirby Puckett. A diving stop in center field to take care of Cobb. So 2 up, 2 down for Harry Heilman, who is DHing tonight. Nothing for 1. Heilman brings it home, Newsom brings it home, and Heilman base hit, center field. So that is Detroit's 4th hit of the game. Big Clue says you mentioned Whitaker, but riddle me this, Batman. How does it take the BBWAA 4 elections to put Right Killer into the Hall? I know, right? He couldn't even crack 60% in his first try, despite batting 5th all-time in home runs. Legend Sports Network saying howdy. You know what? If anybody could somehow fathom the BBWAA, you know what? You should be in the Baseball Hall of Fame if you can figure out what those ass clowns are doing. And yes, said it straight up, ass clowns. Don't know what's going on with them. Never will. Heilman, good lead off at first, 2 away, 3-1 pitch coming to Lou Whitaker. Whitaker lays off, draws the walk. 2 aboard for the Tigers for Al Kaline. Kaline has a hit in as many tries today. Ducks on the pond for the Tigers. Here's the 0-1. And this one lined into center, base hit. Rounding third and coming home. Nope, they're going to flash the stop sign. Strong throw. Strong throw from Kirby Puckett, and they're going to hold Heilman. Bases jammed with Tigers for catcher Bill Freehan. Freehan with that big 3-run shot back in the bottom of the 2nd. Batty sets the target. Newsom has no place to put Freehan. 2 away here in the bottom of the 3rd. The 3-1 delivery to Freehan, and Freehan held up, and Bobo Newsom walks in the 4th Detroit run. Bases still loaded. Whitaker at 3rd, Kaline at 2nd, Freehan at 1st for Placido Polanco, who is 1 for 1 today. RGL Network, Robert asking, and there's Aaron Reed. Robert asking is a big clue. Why is Larry Walker in the Hall of Fame but not Todd Helton? They had the same stats, and actually Helton was a bit better. Big Clue says, as a Hall of Fame said about the Baseball Writers Association of America, its first 1936 election, I suspect some of them are very dumb. Walker was a genuine 5-tool talent, says Big Clue, whose only knock was injuries. Helton belongs too. It's not either or. Helton was a Keith Hernandez of his era. That's why. Also, Big Clue saying to Robert, Helton was robbed of the 2000 MVP. So many players not in the Hall that should be. And some players in the Hall that should not. Sorry, but I don't think Phil Rizzuto nor Bill Mazeroski, just to mention 2, should be in there. Rabbit Moranville should not be in there. The 0-1 to Polanco, and Polanco, this one, high fly ball to right and near the foul line. Oliva making the catch, but Detroit picks up a run. They leave him loaded, but a run walked in. It's now 4-2 as we go into the middle innings now. Top of the 4th, Harmon Killebrew, Joe Cronin, and Torrey Hunter. Killebrew 1 for 1 today. Schoolboy Rowe fires it in. Killebrew is hit. So Killebrew plunked, as the play-by-play here says, working a little too far inside. So Harmon Killebrew aboard for Joe Cronin, 0 for 1. Killebrew into his lead. Schoolboy Rowe has struck out 1 thus far in 3 innings of work. The 2-2 delivery to Cronin. Cronin cuts on this one. High fly ball to center field, and just waiting under it, lighting a marshmallow in his campfire is Ty Cobb for out number 1. Killebrew back to first. Torrey Hunter 0 for 1. Rowe peers in, has the sign from catcher Bill Freehan. The 2-1 to Hunter. Hunter swings, high fly ball to left, and coming over and waving off Cobb is Al Kaline. Out number 2, Killebrew remains at first. Bob Allison. Bob Allison, a solo shot back in the 1st inning. for the Minnesota first baseman. Rowe sets and fires to Allison. Allison tried to hold up, but the man in blue says that is strike 3. No runs, no hits, a runner left on. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Detroit 4, Minnesota 2. No Harold Baines. I totally, completely, absolutely agree with you, Robert. What the hell Harold Baines is doing in the Hall of Fame, I have no idea. So, Big Clue says, meanwhile, no-brainers like Ryan Sandberg, Eddie Matthews, Don Drysdale, Yogi Berra, Barry Larkin, Gary Carter, Harry Heilman, Joe DiMaggio, etc. can't get elected on their first or second or third try. Yep. And Big Clue also says that's the problem with any democratic process. It depends on the wisdom of those voting. All right, Alan Trammell will lead it off, followed by Sam Crawford, Hank Greenberg at the top of the Detroit Tiger order here, bottom of the 4th. 4-2 your score. Bobo Newsom, his fan 4, walked 3. Newsom with the 1-0 delivery now to Trammell. Trammell swings. This one is going to be line to center base hit. Will get down in front of Kirby Puckett. Trammell making the wide turn at first, and this is such a beautiful rendering of Comerica Park. Really, really love it. All right, Crawford now bats. Sam 0 for 2. Bobo Newsom winds and fires. The 1-2 delivery to Wahoo Sam. And Crawford smacks this one, and this is going to get down for a base hit to right. So Sam picking up a base hit. 2 aboard for these Tigers, and nobody out. And here's Hank Greenberg. And Greenberg can do some serious damage. A swing of the bat could possibly put this game out of reach. Greenberg thus far today 0-2. The 1-1. Greenberg struck out twice. This time a clean base hit up the middle. And they are going to hold Trammell at third. So the Tigers have loaded him up for Ty Cobb. Cobb nothing for 2 against Bobo Newsom. Tigers now with 8 hits. 4 for Minnesota. Minnesota has 1 error. From the stretch in the 2-0, Cobb, a little chopper to second. They come home and they get the lead runner. Great heads-up play. Great heads-up play by Buddy Meyer to cut down the lead runner. Bases still loaded, 1 away. Cobb at first, Greenberg at second, Crawford at third. And Harry Heilman 1 for 2. Heilman a dangerous hitter. Newsom with the 1-2 delivery to Heilman. Heilman swings, base hit, right field. That's going to be an RBI. So 1 run will come in. Detroit picking up its 5th tally here in the bottom of the 4th inning. 5-2 Tigers. Aaron Reed, did anybody check out the new videos? I've been working all day, Aaron, so I did not. Speaking of snubbed MVPs, Alan Trammell deserved an 87 more than George Bell. And Aaron Reed says he has a couple friends in Louisville, Kentucky that are both Tiger fans. Very nice. Tigers are my favorite American League franchise. All right, Lou Whitaker batting here. And Whitaker walked against Newsom. Bases loaded, 1 down. And high fly ball by Whitaker out to left. This one deep at the track, making the catch is Torrey Hunter. But a run is going to score in the person of Hammer and Hank Greenberg. It's 6-2. This one becoming a laugher here, baseball fans. Runners at the corners. Cobb at third. Heilman at first for Al Kaline in left field tonight as Cobb is in center. Kaline 2 for 2. Newsom from the stretch, and the 0-2 delivery to Kaline. And Kaline, big swing and a miss. Newsom picks up strikeout number 5, but the Tigers pick up 2. It is 6-2 as we go to the top of the 5th inning, and we'll see Gary Gaetti, Earl Batty, and Buddy Meyer due up for the Minnesota Twins. And remember, these Minnesota Twins have some Senators players, and yes, Walter Johnson is in this rotation. Freehand sets the target. Schoolboy Rowe with the 2-1 delivery now to Gaetti. Gaetti swing on. This one is gone. I mean, No fancy home run calls. Gary Gaetti just absolutely touching them all here. 389-foot shot to right field. Gaetti going the opposite way on that. And Detroit chipping away, or Minnesota chipping away here in the fifth. It's now 6-3. That ball got out of here fast. No time for a fancy home run call, gentlemen. As Earl Batty batting in the number 9 slot. He is 0-1, the Twins catcher. The 1-2 from Schoolboy Rowe to Earl Batty. Here it comes. And Batty, hard hit ground ball to third. This one's going to go down the line, and Batty is aboard. And Batty's going to go for 2, the slide, the tag, and he is in there. So Earl Batty in scoring position, nobody out for Minnesota, and here comes Buddy Meyer. We're back at the top of the Minnesota order. Buddy Meyer is 1 for 2. Schoolboy Rowe has the sign from Bill Freehan. The wind and the delivery to Meyer. Meyer swings, gapper into left. This is going to go for extra bases, and we have us a 6-4 ball game. As another run comes in on the RBI, Earl Batty scores, and it's 6-4. So Buddy Meyer picking up the RBI double. Twins mounting a comeback here within 2 runs now of the Tigers. Still nobody out. Schoolboy Rowe in a little bit of trouble out there. Meyer, decent speed for Tony Oliva. Oliva 1 for 2. Schoolboy Rowe with a 2-1 now. And Oliva grounds it to short. And up with it is Alan Trammell on to Hank Greenberg for the 6-3 putout. First out of the inning, Meyer holding second for Kirby Puckett. Puckett with an RBI in the game. He is 0 for 1, a sacrifice. Minnesota scoring 1 in the first, 1 in the second, 2 in the fifth. Detroit 3 in the second, 1 in the third, 2 in the fourth. Rowe brings it home to Puckett. Puckett swings, and this one sent out to left field, and ranging over to his left and making a catch is Al Kaline. So 2 away, Meyer holding second for Harmon Killebrew. Harmon Killebrew with the power to tie it up here with 1 swing of the bat. Killer 1 for 1 in the game. Freehan with the sign. Schoolboy Rowe shaking him off. Now has one he likes. The 1-2 delivery to Killebrew. Killebrew swings right through this one. And a big wind off of Lake Michigan from that mighty swing. However, Minnesota picks up 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors. They strand 1. And the Twins within 2 of the Tigers. It is now 6-4. Bottom of the 5th. Check in on the chat. Aaron Reed says, kaboom, baby. Ken Castro saying good evening to everyone. Good to see you, Cousin Ken. And again, Cousin Ken doing a great job in both versions of the McGreevy League, winning it all in the Diamond Mine version and finishing 3rd in the Action PC version. So I want to thank Cousin Ken again for being the inspiration to that league. That was so much fun. All right, Bill Freehan batting in the 8th slot will be followed by Placido Polanco and then Alan Trammell, the top of the Detroit Tiger order. 6-4 here in this exhibition at Comerica Park, out of the Park Baseball 2020, or out of the Park Baseball 23. Newsom count even on Freehan. Freehan swings right through that one. So little change up by Newsom, and that's strikeout number 6. Placido Polanco 1 for 2 against Newsom and the Twins today. Newsom with the 1-1. Here's the windup and the pitch. And Polanco lines this one over first. So clean base hit going over the head of Bob Allison. Polanco on board, 1 down for Alan Trammell. Back at the top of the order for the Tigers. 1 for 3 for Trammell in the game. And again, I apologize for some of the face gen pictures. I've just been too lazy to update my picture file both for Action PC and for Out of the Park. I'll wait until the new Out of the Park comes out to do that for both games. The 1-1, and the runner was going and lined right to first. Bob Allison making a nice play and almost gets Placido Polanco, almost doubles him up. But 2 down, Crawford. Wahoo Sam 1 for 3. Newsom with the full count. Crawford swings, routine grounder to short, and up with it. And over is Joe Cronin to Allison, and that will take care of the Twins. They strand one, and we go to the top of the, or take care of the Tigers. We go to the top of the 6th, and it's Detroit 6, Minnesota 4. Big Clue says Ken Castro, my favorite muckraker. Aaron Reed doing Big Clue saying thanks for the link. We'll download your or we'll check out the video tomorrow. So yep, it's good to see Aaron Reed doing some stuff. Robbie Wartburg, I believe, did a 1920 game last night. All right, Joe Cronin will lead it off here, followed by Torrey Hunter and Bob Allison. Thank you guys for coming in this unplanned, unannounced game. Work hours changed today, so thought I want to go home and do some baseball for the dudes, and here we are. Schoolboy Rowe with the 2-0 delivery now to Joe Cronin. Flied out his last time up. Cronin swings, and soft grounder to third. Up with it, but a bit of a low throw by Polanco, but Greenberg able to dig it out in time to retire the runner. First, or 1 out, as Cronin heads back to the bench, and Torrey Hunter comes to the plate. Hunter 0-for-2 in the game. Rowe with a 2-1 delivery. Hunter swings, fly ball to center, and sauntering back on it is Ty Cobb, and making a nice grab on that. So it looked like the wind might have caught that. Let's look at our weather. We haven't checked that today. So actually, no, the wind coming in from right, so may have twisted up on Cobb a little bit. Chilly day here in Detroit. It's 49 degrees. Bob Allison with a solo home run in this game. He is 1 for 2. Schoolboy Rose fan 3 has not walked a batter, holding on to a 2-run lead here in the top of the 6th, using a designated hitter in this game. Bob Allison, little number to third. Is he going to beat this one out? He will. He will. So Polanco having to play that slow grounder, and Bob Allison legs it out for the infield hit. That's number 8 for Minnesota. Robert, who's coming up? I don't know if Robert's still here. If you are Robert, who's coming up on your channel? 1988 replay. I know that season's getting pretty far into. I think the last time I checked, I think it's in June now or something, maybe a little further in. Gary Gaetti. He's 1 for 2. The run batted in, 2 away. Bob Allison at first, 6-4 Tiger lead here in the 6th. Schoolboy Rowe winds and fires. And this one chopped to first, and Greenberg will take it to the bag himself. Side retired, no runs, 1 hit, no errors. A man left. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Detroit 6 and Minnesota 4. Due up, Hank Greenberg, Ty Cobb, and Harry Heilman, the number 3, 4, and 5 hitters for the Tigers. Hammer and Hank 1 for 3. Bobo Newsom 6 strikeouts, 3 walks through 5. Payoff pitch coming to Greenberg. Greenberg lays off. This one a bit low and outside, and Greenberg draws the walk. So fastball missing, and that will be all for Bobo Newsom. So coming in, LaTroy Hawkins to pitch for Minnesota. Ty Cobb waits on the Hawkins delivery. Here it comes. Cobb swings, lofted to left. Shouldn't be a problem. That high fly ball, and Torrey Hunter backpedals about 3 steps to retire Cobb for the first out of the inning. Greenberg retreats to first, and here is Harry Heilman Heilman 2 for 3 with a run batted in today. Payoff pitch coming into Harry Heilman. Heilman swings. A hit and run was on. Liner to right, but right down into the glove of Tony Oliva. And Tony Oliva making the quick throw over to Allison. And Greenberg sliding in safe. So Greenberg almost doubled off. Close play there at first. Great play by Tony Oliva in right field. So 2 away. Greenberg remaining at first for Lou Whitaker. Whitaker with an RBI in the game. LaTroy Hawkins with the 1-0. And Whitaker grounds it to third, and Whitaker out on the routine 5-3 putout. So Detroit manages a walk and nothing else. We go to the 7th. 6-4, your score remains. And RJL is taken off, but he says, Gaetti, just one of 15 third basemen, hit 3 home runs and 1,000 runs batted in his career. All right, have a good one, Robert. As soon as I'm off in the evening again for work, be checking in and hanging out with you in your 1988 replay. Hopefully I'll catch a Pirates game. All right, Earl Batty leads it off here in the 7th, be followed by Buddy Meyer, Tony Oliva. Schoolboy Rowe into the wind in the 0-1 pitch to Earl Batty. Batty swings, and I mean, he gets his money worth out of this one. Gapper into right center. Batty is going for 2. Cobb giving chase out there, and Batty will slide in with the leadoff double. So 19 hits total in this game. 10 for Detroit, 9 for Minnesota. 6-4, so a good game here. Detroit at one time holding a commanding 6-2 lead, and then Minnesota answering back. So nobody out. Runner in scoring position for the Twins for Buddy Meyer. Buddy Meyer 2 for 3 with a run batted in. And Mike Henneman is now in to pitch. Meyer swings, grounded to short, and up with it is Alan Trammell on to Hank Greenberg to retire the runner. So Batty holds second as Mike Henneman gets ready to face Tony Oliva, who is 1 for 3. Freehand sets the target. Henneman into his motion. Here's the pitch. Oliva swings. High fly ball to left. Going back and just short of the track. And making the catch is Al Kaline. Tagging and going to third is Earl Batty. So 2 out and potential 5th Minnesota run knocking at the door. Just 90 feet away for Kirby Puckett. Kirby Puckett with a run batted in. He is 0 for 2 in the game. Henneman from the stretch and the 1-1 to Puckett. Puckett swings, base hit. Puckett picking up the RBI as Earl Batty comes in to score. And Minnesota inches even closer. It is now 6-5. 2 down. Puckett at first for Killebrew. Cousin Ken Castro is the World Baseball Classic opener on late. Oh yeah, is that tonight? Tomorrow? When does that start? So this is the World Baseball Classic. I thought it was starting tomorrow. So I guess it's tonight. Had no idea. Because I know our all-time World Baseball Classic, I wouldn't expect that probably till summer. But that's going to be fun. Players sorted by their country of birth. And it's going to be brilliant. We've got the Dominican Republic in there, and Cuba and Canada. And it's going to be great. It's going to be fun. Nicaragua, I believe, is in there. Have to look. All right, 2 away. A run in here for Minnesota in the top of the 7th. Mike Henneman deals the 2-0 delivery. Killebrew swings. Popped in the infield. And down into the glove of Hammer and Hank Greenberg. Inning over. 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, a runner left. Detroit leading 6-5 as we go to the middle of the 7th. Big Clue says, I hope our World Baseball Classic will be the best single season. Else it'll be hard to fill out some of the teams. So it's not a best single season. It's actually Dave Cook. The rosters. One of the reasons, Big Clue, why it's going to take me a while, and provided things are working, I think I'm inheriting a bit of your PC issues. I'm probably just ready to buy a new one. Mine's acting a bit squirrely. It's Dave Cook put it out as a subset of the Baseball History Collection, and there's just a billion players. Just Ireland. So Ireland is one of the countries, mostly 19th century players, but there's a ton. What I've got to do is actually assemble the teams. So maybe what we'll do, as I start setting this up, is maybe we'll do a country at a time some night on a broadcast and have you guys help pick the rosters for each of the countries. So that'll be maybe something to think about. Could speed up the process. PQ River here tonight at Comerica Park for this little exhibition between Detroit and Minnesota. All right, Al Kaline, Bill Freehan, and Placido Polanco due up. LaTroy Hawkins now with the 3-2 pitch. Al Kaline swings and goes down on strikes. So a little slider by LaTroy Hawkins. I'm going to make a very bad pun here. Has Al Kaline ever been acidic? And those of you who know your chemistry will get the very, very bad pun there. As Bill Freehan steps in the box, one down. LaTroy Hawkins in for relief of Bobo Newsom. Works 1 1/3 so far with a strikeout. Thank you, Big Clue. He says whatever helps you out. Cool, cool, cool. All right. Nobody commenting on my bad thing about Al Kaline being acidic. Was he ever acidic? Nobody cares. All right. I try. I make people laugh at work all day, all the customers and all that, and staff, so I'm allowed to be just boring and Egypt here. All right, Freehan, he is 1 for 2 with 4 runs batted in, including a 3-run shot. LaTroy Hawkins deals the 0-1 delivery to Freehan. Freehan swings, base hit, center field. So that one down in front of Kirby Puckett. As Big Clue says, well, the irony is that Kaline's uniform number was just below the threshold. That is interesting. How about it? So there we go. A little bit of, if we have a pinch hitter, then we have PH action. Never mind. We're just, it's dead. It's done. So there we go. There we go. So the bad pun is that you have things that are alkaline, Robbie, and if you take Al Kaline's name and you crank it together, Al Kaline becomes alkaline, and so you have things that are alkaline, things that are acidic, and so that was the bad pun. So see, yeah, say his pH number. See, there we go. Big Clue saying, "Oh my God." So there we go. It's worse when I explain it. Well, you know what? At least I explained it, dude. So much worse. Bite me, dude. Bite me. Anyhow, it is. He's alkaline. He is Al Kaline is alkaline, you bastards. And I'm gonna put it in the chapter in the chat. So Al Kaline equals, right? I mean, I'm sorry. I wasn't his parents and whatever. So there. Leave me alone, wankers. Wankers. Yeah, so how many baseball fans put that together before tonight? Huh? I bet you Ernie Harwell didn't even realize it. So, yeah, Gits, yeah, Mankey Scuts, Gits and all that, right? Mm-hmm. All right. Buggers, all tossers, wankers, all of you. PQ River says he did, but he's nuts. Nice. Freehan aboard, 1 away for Placido Polanco. 2 for 3. I keep wanting to call him Gregory Polanco because, I'm a Pirates fan. What do I know? LaTroy brings it home. The 2-1, and Polanco laces this one into left. This is going to get down a little Robbie Wartburg, Texas leaguer. So Polanco with Detroit's 12 hit, 22 hits in the game. Freehan at second. Polanco at first as I look to the chat and see even more abuse. Just more proof that baseball's elemental. Oh, my pancreas just imploded. Let's give it up there for Big Clue. So I'm going to hashtag here. Yep, let's see. Hashtag Big Clue Chem God. Well, with a small g. Because yeah. So, yep. He is a Chem God. There we go. Big Clue Chem God. There we go. Nice. All right, Freehan at second, Polanco at first. I think I'm the one that started the devolution of our usual devolving chat, although the past few nights it's been so tight in the McGreevy League, we haven't had time for any tomfoolery. LaTroy Hawkins deals to Alan Trammell. 1 for 4, single base, and this is going to be the nice 6-4-3 double play, pitcher's best friend, and the Tigers. 2 hits, and that's it. Top of the 8th, 6-5. Joe Cronin, Torrey Hunter, and Bob Allison due up. Big Clue says he's no Elohim, but Mrs. Chang from 11th grade would be proud. He's no Elohim. Love it, love it, love it, man. Oh my God. Wait, World's Worst Gamer going off on something here. What's he going off on? Tom Flannery. And he says, wait, it was Tim, I think. Alright, here we go. Yeah. Will we ever know? We probably never will. Anyway, says World's Worst Gamer. Alright, Joe Cronin, Torrey Hunter, Bob Allison. I already said that, but I'm saying it again. Mike Henneman has worked in inning and relief and has neither walked nor struck out a batter, so he's just sort of wanking out there in the hill. The 1-2 delivery, and Robbie, if you don't know what wanking is, just go ahead and look it up. Joe Cronin, high pop fly on the infield, and coming down into the glove of one Hammer and Hank Greenberg. So 1 away here for Torrey Hunter, who has absolutely done nothing worthwhile in this game. He is 0 for 3. Henneman with the 0-2 delivery to Torrey Hunter. And he plunks Hunter for being a wanker. So there we go. And Torrey Hunter aboard. And that's Mike Henneman hitting Torrey Hunter. And it was a thing to behold, wasn't it not? As Bob Allison steps in. And no, I've not had any Guinness tonight. You might think I have, though, right? Hunter, decent leadoff first. Henneman delivers to Bob Allison. Allison drawing the walk. So not sure what Henneman is thinking out there, but there are 2 Twins aboard. The tying run in scoring position. The go-ahead to run at first. 1 down. And here's Gary Gaetti. Gaetti 1 for 3. Solo shot for him. Henneman wheels and deals. And Gaetti, base hit, line drive into center field, coming around to score and to tie this game up. The big safe is Torrey Hunter. So Torrey Hunter scores and ties it up on the Gaetti single. Allison at second, Gaetti at first. 6-6 your score. So Twins fighting back. The go-ahead run now at second in Bob Allison. As Ken Castro says, trying to educate this crew is futile. Nice. Tomfoolery equals Tim Flannery. Well done. Well done. Robbie does not want to know what the word wanker means, or it's, or tosser, or what have you. And that's fine, Robbie. That is completely fine. But I know that someday you will Google it nonetheless. It's become the word of choice, actually, in a couple places where I hang out now as I've introduced it to other people. They love it. Sounds a little bit better than, well, I can't say because then I'll give away Robbie and then we don't want to do it. So, Goose Goslin. Goose Goslin, talk about the pH factor. Here we go. Hall of Famer Goose Goslin. into pinch hit now. Payoff pitch coming to Goose Goslin. Goslin swings. Grounder is short, slow grounder, but they're going to turn the double play, the 6-4-3, to end it. But the Twins tie it up here, and we go to the bottom of the 8th. And it's 6-6. And Rick Aguilera will come on to pitch for the Twins, and he will face Sam Crawford, Hank Greenberg, and Ty Cobb. Wahoo Sam 1 for 4. And Aguilera ready to deal. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Sam Crawford. Crawford swings, high fly ball into right center. And Kirby Puckett calling off Tony Oliva to make the catch for out number 1. Hank Greenberg 1 for 3. Aguilera with the 1-2 delivery. And Hammer and Hank cuts right through this one. That swing looked like the one, if you see that famous film where he's facing Bob Feller, and Feller just absolutely just sits him down big time. So hard swing by Greenberg, but nothing doing. 2 away for the Georgia Peach. Cobb wearing the collar, Cousin Ken. Nothing for 4. Aguilera wheels and deals to the Georgia Peach. Cobb swings, and this one lined into right, but what a great stop. And it looks like he did not trap it. Great play by Tony Oliva. Inning over. The Tigers go in order. We go to the 9th. 6-6, your score in this exhibition game. Top of the order for Minnesota, Buddy Meyer, Tony Oliva, and Kirby Puckett. 2 for 4 on the day for second baseman Buddy Meyer, including a run batted in. Mike Henneman staying on in relief. He's worked 2 innings, walked 1. The 1-2 delivery now to Buddy Meyer from Mike Henneman. Meyer swings, soft fly ball into right field, and camping under it, making the catch, is Sam Crawford. 1 up, 1 down in the 9th for Tony Oliva. Oliva hitting 1. He has 1 hit and 4 tries, I should say. Ha ha! So there we go. Big Clue's about to lose his wrench here. That's alright. That's alright. Big Clue picking on the box. That's alright. That's alright. I'm going to come back with a Reds one. But we're going to wait till we do a Reds game. So he's actually going to have the pain, the anguish of keeping his wrench in this community, just so I can keep talking about them thar Cincinnati Reds. That's it. It's on. Now, you know, Big Clue, even though both of our teams are going to suck, we still have to trash talk each other once the season starts. Preseason does not count. Or spring training. Why do I keep using that F-ball term? Spring training does not count. All right, anyhow, where were we? 1 down. Tony Oliva, Mike Henneman deals. And he winds and fires. Oliva, first pitch swinging, grounded to second. And not a problem for Lou Whitaker to take care of Oliva. 2 up, 2 down for Kirby Puckett. Kirby Puckett wants to tell Mike Henneman to pitch it. See, you thought I was going to do some poetry there. 2 away. Henneman to Puckett. The 0-2 delivery. And Kirby Puckett gets plunked. So a couple hit batsmen in this game. 2 away, and the go-ahead run now on first base for Harmon Killebrew. And John Hiller will come in. John Hiller, an important part of those great 1968 club, these Detroit Tigers, World Series winners over the St. Louis Cardinals. Lefty Hiller finishing his warm-up pitches. And here is the delivery to Harmon Killebrew, who popped out his last time up and lays off this one outside. Puckett moves to second, Killebrew at first. 2 away, 2 down, top of the 9th. Score tied at 6 for Joe Cronin. Nothing for 4. John Hiller fires it in. Joe Cronin swings, and this one fouled on the right-hand side, giving chase and making the catch is Bill Freehan. Bottom of the ninth we go, and the Tigers looking for the walk-off win. The Tigers losing a big lead in this game. Minnesota fighting all the way back. Harry Heilman, Lou Whitaker, and Al Kaline due up. Rick Aguilera, in an inning of relief, has one strikeout. The 0-1 delivery to Heilman. Heilman swings, hard ground ball to short, and booted at short. So the error to Joe Cronin, and the winning run is now in first base at Harry Heilman. Lou Whitaker due up, an RBI in the game. Costly error. Do we get extra innings? We shall see. Aguilera, payoff pitch. This one inside. And it looks like we do have a catching change. Rick Farrell, Hall of Fame catcher, some would argue should not be in there. In the Hall of Fame, that is. So Earl Batty out of the game. Heilman at second, Whitaker at first for Al Kaline. Now, we've been talking a lot about Al, and Al has some pop. Could this be a big walk-off for the Tigers? Nobody out, 2 on. Aguilera, the 1-2. Kaline is not going to knock it out of anywhere because it is the 4-6-3 double play. Heilman will move to third, and it's up to Stormin' Norman Cash, who will come in to pinch hit. So in this very young season that I am playing offline, Cash is 3 for 4 with a run batted in. Rick Aguilera working from the stretch to Cash, and they're going to intentionally walk Norm Cash. Probably a smart move. But here's Kirk Gibson. Aguilera from the stretch to Gibby, count even on Gibson. Gibson swings, lazy fly ball to left, and we have extra innings. Torrey Hunter making the catch. 3 runners in the bases in the inning. The Tigers do nada nunca, and we go to free baseball. Top of the 10th. Torrey Hunter, Bob Allison, Gary Gaetti due up for the Minnesota Twins. Hunter nothing for 3. He was plunked. So that's something to write home about, I suppose. John Hiller, the full count now. And Torrey Hunter swinging on this 3-2 pitch. Looks like he might have chased a bad one. John Hiller picks up a strikeout. 1 away for Bob Allison. Bob Allison having a good day at the plate, 2 for 3. Solo home run. Southpaw Hiller has the sign. Allison swings in this first pitch, and this one a little flare into left, and running in on it and making a nice catch is Kaline, waving off Cobb. 2 up, 2 down for Gary Gaetti. Home run in this game. Hiller delivers. Count even on Gaetti. Gaetti swings, easy grounder to short. Trammell on to Greenberg for the 6-3, and that ends the Minnesota 10th. We go to the bottom of the 10th, still tied at 6. Joe Nathan comes on now to pitch for Minnesota. Alan Trammell, Sam Crawford, Hank Greenberg, the number 1, 2, 3 hitters in this lineup due up. Trammell 1 for 5. And Alan Trammell, here's the first pitch. Trammell swings sky high to right and right down into the glove of Tony Oliva. 1 away here in the bottom of the 10th. Sam Crawford 1 for 5. Joe Nathan rubbing up the ball, has the sign from Rick Farrell, the wind and the pitch to Wahoo Sam. And Crawford, routine grounder to second, snap throw by Buddy Meyer onto Bob Allison for the 4-3 putout. Can Hank Greenberg walk it off here? Greenberg 1 for 4 in the contest. Nathan winds and fires the 1-1 to Greenberg. Greenberg swings. Grounder to third. This one booted. And Greenberg aboard thanks to the Gary Gaetti error. And so if you notice here, Cousin Ken, we were talking about the keyhole. And I've seen it in a couple parks, so it is around. Comerica, I believe we were looking at... Aaron and I were looking at a ballpark on Sunday when I was helping with Action PC Baseball. So I guess they are still a thing, after all. Let's catch up here. Yep, so Big Clue saying count me in. Among them about Farrell not being a Hall of Fame. He says he could toss 25 to 30 Hall of Famers and sleep easily. Then again, I would add about 70 and 80 on the other end of the things. Yep. Absolutely. So, never trash the Pirates. Robbie, you got to understand that Pirates fans are always going to trash the Reds, and Reds fans are always going to trash the Pirates. The rivalry, especially that we had in the 1970s, both teams very, very dominant throughout the 1970s, and a beautiful hatred has existed between Cincinnati and Pittsburgh. Big Clue says he was playing with Steve's 5-year files, avoiding work this afternoon. Good for you, Big Clue, that you avoided work. And just couldn't resist the temptation to play the 2010 to 2014 Reds and the 2011 to 2014 Pirates against each other. Fun stuff. And I can just say, Cueto, but good stuff. World's Worst Gamer. I went to play the state collection from Dave Cook Sports, but not buying it till it was $10 US. Don't really want to pay more than that for it. The rivalry in the 2020s is a competition for who has, yeah, right, the shittier owner. Isn't that true? I'm going to say we do, Big Clue. Pirates definitely have the more fecal-ridden owner, Bob Nutting. In my humble opinion, that way I don't get sued. Like, who cares about a channel with 600 subscribers? But somebody might know Bob Nutting. So, in my opinion, he sucks. Anyhow, Greenberg at first, 2 down for Ty Cobb. Nothing for 5 for the Cobster. Joe Nathan's 2-0. Cobb swings. This one gapped into left. This is going to get down for extra bases. Cobb going for 2. And here's the throw coming around to score. And this game is over. Ty Cobb with a walk-off double. Greenberg scores, and the Detroit Tigers win it in the bottom of the 9th by a score of 7-6. What a fun game this one was. All right. Good stuff. No recap written for this because it was an exhibition. So there we go. We'll leave this game. Boom. Nice. Cool. Yeah, Big Clue says it right, but not by a big margin. Yeah. Robbie says Tigers win. So there we go, guys. Hope you had fun in this little unannounced game. No work for me till 1:30 tomorrow afternoon, theoretically, so that's nice. Let me see if I can look at some of these. I want to show Ken, especially if he's still here. I know there's a little bit more modern baseball, but I want you to see this, the Cooperstown Pioneers, Ken, and look at some of the people here. Is this the home page? Where do I get to see? I want to see the players. I want to meet the players. Look at the lineups here for a second. So these Cooperstown Pioneers right now in this league that I'm playing, cousin, against all these modern teams, they are 6-3. You got Buck Ewing, Deacon White, Dan Bruthers, Roger Connor, Jack Glasscock, Huey Jennings, Bid McPhee, Cap Anson, King Kelly, Bill Dolan, Ed McKean, Jesse Burkett, Ed Delahanty, Jim O'Rourke, and Hugh Duffy. So pretty tough team. What else can we do here? Yeah, there's our depth charts. So, nice stuff. But I wanted to also look at pitching. So, Buffington, Cummings, Keefe, Nichols, Rusey, Galvin, Griffith, Bobby Matthews, Al Spalding, Monty Ward, Gus Weighing, and John Clarkson. So these Cooperstown Pioneers are tough. There's also another interesting team on here. Let me look at the standings here again and see if I can find these guys. Where are they? Because it's a neat extra. There's two really cool extra teams. Oh yeah, the Kansas City Monarchs. Here we go. So who do we have on the Monarchs? Well, let's check it out. We got Josh Gibson, Biz Mackey, Louis Santop, Buck Leonard, and then there's also a Japanese player in here, of course. We have Sadaharu O, Mule Suttles, Ben Taylor, Frank Grant, Willie Wells, Ray Dandridge, Judy Johnson, Judd Wilson, Pop Lloyd, Monty Irvin, and Turkey Stearns. Pitching, Ray Brown, Leon Day, Malachi Kameda, Satchel Paige, Bullet Rogan, Andy Cooper, Martin Diego, Bill Foster, Jose Mendez, Ted W.D. Radcliffe, Smokey Joe Williams, and Hilton Smith. So maybe sometime we'll do a little exhibition between the Pioneers and the Monarchs just for fun. There, yep, the Cooperstown Pioneers, a team after your own heart. Yeah, Robbie, this league, I don't even know if it's around anymore. Don't know. May or not be. Check Steam Workshop. Check the forums. I don't know. I got this for Out of the Park 20, and then brought it, or no, Out of Park 21, and then brought it over to 22, and then from 22 to 23. So probably if you look in the internet way back, it's got to be out there. Got to be out there. So really like this. This one's a lot of fun. So that's it for Out of the Park Baseball. But it's pretty cool. Can look at some rosters and such or whatever. Or we can just call it a night, man. Just call it a night. Such a nice looking game. So you can see the standings right now. My Pirates in last place right now, 3-7. So who's leading right now? The Yanks at 7-2. So this is 32 teams, split into 4 divisions. So the Yankees in AL Division 1, I didn't bother changing any of these things. The Yankees in first place, the Twins at 6-3 in their division. Robbie's Texas Rangers are tied for first with the Seattle Mariners, 5-4 in that division. And then the Baltimore Orioles, 6 wins, 3 losses in theirs. In the National League, Philadelphia Phillies, 6-3. LA Dodgers, 8-1 in their division, best record in this league. Chicago Cubs, 7-2 in their division. And the Colorado Rockies and Milwaukee Brewers each at 5-4. Where are the Cincinnati Reds, you ask? They're in last place in their division, but it's a tough division. They're 5-4. So everybody in NL Division 2 is above 500. Cincinnati at 5-4, but you got the Dodgers, the Pioneers, and the Braves. Some tough teams as well. So we can take a look at the Cincinnati Reds quickly. And let's look at... So we got Johnny Bench, Bubbles Hargrave, Ernie Lombardi, Adam Dunn, Ted Kloszewski, Lee May, Frank McCormick, Joey Votto, Barry Larkin, Joe Morgan, Brandon Phillips, Heine Groh, Tony Perez, Dave Concepcion, George Foster. There are players, of course, missing here in terms of their right. They're conspicuous by their absence, but still fun. Still a very, very fun league. You know, I mean, as each season progresses, creating these types of things get harder and harder because you just got more players. You know, Ed Roush is not in here and should be. Who do we have pitching here for these Reds? Paul Derringer, Noodles Hahn, Jim Maloney, Joe Knoxall, Jose Rijo, Clay Carroll, Rob Dibble, Dolph Luke, Eparixi, Mario Soto, Johnny Vandermeer, and Aroldis Chapman. Fun stuff. Right, so big clue saying depends on whether you cut off the current franchises in 1901 and later players or not. So yeah, I have some leagues, I'm sure you do as well, big clue, in Action PC Baseball, which I have one that's like franchise greats. It's like 1965 to 1990, which is fun. And Diamond Mine Baseball really breaks them down. But we're kind of getting that now with Steve Tate's 5-year files as well. So, but I still have kind of a soft spot in my heart, if you will, for these I love these all-time great franchise leagues. I think they're fun to play. There you go. What can I say? What can I say? So, Aaron Reed says he's playing Action PC Baseball right now, and when he starts playing, gets addicted. Yep, that's a dangerously addictive game. The clue says Cuba, Italy, the Netherlands, Panama, and Taiwan in the double elimination round robin for the next few days, starting tonight. Cuba versus Netherlands. Cuba's such a great. Oh, you want to see the stats for the Pioneers? Sure. I'm easy. All right. Let's go back to schedule. And actually, I think I can act as. Yeah. So I'm going to be the Cooperstown Pioneers. Another nice thing about Action PC Baseball is you can jump in, of course, and be anybody you want. All right, let's look at the players list. And actually, you can see these are a lot larger, right? A lot larger. This is like they're all over the place. Let me pick up stats for. Again, this is very, very early, Ken, so these stats aren't going to tell you a lot at this point in time. And I know there's a way to set this to real stats. But good stuff on here. Yeah, so down there's some of the ones I didn't get to read. So George Van Haltren is in there and whatever. So good stuff. Short answer, you can't. Big clue. Can't. There's only 120 slots for it, and there's 180 teams. I think Steve was here earlier. Don't know if he's still here. 180 teams. So there's 60 more teams on Steve's file that you can't put them together. That would be fun to put them all into a single league, but there's just not enough room. Batting stats? Yeah, let's do that. Potential batting stats 1. But again, I'm trying to get this to go to their like real time, like not the replay stats, because again, this is very, very early. And I've been playing so much Action PC Baseball that I forget how to do this. But there is a way to switch. And I can't remember. I do one thing I want to look at quickly is I forget what ballpark is settings. Added ballpark. What ballpark is it using? Let me see. The ballpark at Cooperstown. Let's look. What 3D model is it using for Cooperstown? Let's see. Okay, it's just using the generic park. Holy shit. You know what I should do while we're sitting here talking baseball is let's design a ballpark for the Pioneers, because this default ballpark is shite. So why don't we do that? Wouldn't that be fun? Let's make a ballpark for these guys. Why not? Why not? Why not? Why not? So what can I do? Let's see. Pioneers. Da-da-da-da-da. Is it team settings? Where do I do this? Where do I build a ballpark? I forget. Is it at a ballpark? Where is it? Because I hate that ballpark. It's not there. I could just bring it. Oh, by the way, if you guys ever really, really want to get deep, If you think the dragging of things around in Action PC is crazy, this is beyond Zen. So this is how you do the, these are the ball flights. But luckily you don't have to, as that mod that you can get on the Steam Workshop thankfully does all this, has all this done, because you can drag all this around, and it's a nightmare. It is a nightmare. Sliding Billy in the league. Now let's go back and let's look at Cooperstown, since I can't remember how to edit it or create a ballpark for them. God. Player list. Where is Hamilton? Where are you, Billy? Did they remember? If not, I'll have to bring in... Billy Hamilton's not on here, man. I'm going to have to bring in Sliding Billy, it looks like. So, note to self, import Sliding Billy Hamilton, as he's not in this league. No, there he is. I'm sorry. My fault. There's Hamilton. There's Sliding Billy. And let's look at his batting stats. And there we can see there are the real stats for Sliding Billy. And why was Cousin Ken always wanting to steal with Hamilton? Again, rules are a bit different. But look at 1889, 1890, 1891. Those 3 seasons, over 100 steals. God, why can't I remember how to do this? And yeah, so you can, of course, edit players in this too. I do so love this game. But I can't remember how to make a ballpark. I want to make a ballpark. Damn it. Can't remember how to do it. It'll come back to me someday. Compare player. Oh, there you go. Yeah, I remember this bit. So you can compare players to other players, which is kind of nice. Batting ratings, blah, 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 blah. So any players that you visited, you can actually then compare them against each other. Nice. Where the hell do I do this, man? Well, I'll remember it at 3 in the morning, and then I'll be up here feverishly making a ballpark for Cooperstown. Is it in the front office? No, this is finances. I could care less about this. I couldn't care less about this. Anyhow, I don't remember. The 3D tab earlier. Let me look. Let me look. Team home screen. And I do know that it's settings. So there's edit ballpark. But I don't want to... Oh, there it is. Damn it. We're making a ballpark. Haha. Thank you, World's Worst Gamer. We're making a ballpark. Alright, so this is kind of the default ballpark that you start out with. Now, that being said, this isn't terribly robust, but it's getting better. Okay, so we're going to make it, for old-timey's sake, we're going to make it a minor league park. So we're going to make it a little smaller. And let me see, what's the field texture? That looks like grass. Was just regular old grass. Let me see. Let's look at this as wide. I kind of like that already. We can go in here and start messing with field heights and stuff like that. So we're going to leave this at wide. And let's see, what can we do here? Oh, there we go. So these are different backgrounds for it. I don't want the big buildings back there. There we go. Cool. Let's go to step 2. Alright, 3-tier stands. Nah. We can put a cornfield out there. Let me see. What about ads with trees? What does that give us? Yeah, maybe. I want to be able to create something that looks like Palace of the Fans or the South End grounds. Pull the corners into 280, says World's Worst Gamer. I don't think we need 3-tier stands anywhere, right? What happens if we do... Nah, that looks too modern here. See, they haven't done enough with this yet. There's a grassy knoll. There's a grassy knoll, so if you're in Dallas, stay the hell away from it. Ah, there's a little train up there. That's cute. Can't use that, though. Don't want a giant screen in baseball, do we? Trees with a brick building. What the hell's that going to look like? Maybe. Maybe not so much the trees. Can I put another train in there, really? I don't like that big stupid scoreboard up there, though. Probably I could be able to get a decent ballpark out of this, but at least we'll try to make it look a little better. A giant bottle? Are you kidding me? Yeah, we'll give him a little cornfield out there. I don't know. How about right field? Yeah, we'll throw some bleachers down. There we go. How about bleachers all the way around? We don't need no stinking roofs, right? I don't like the ads, but that's okay. Yes, it was. Big clue saying Palace of the Fans was beautiful for its time. Yep. Yeah, cornfield for Ken Castro. Big clue, and Robbie Wartburg picking up on that one. Absolutely. All right, let's go to step 3. We'll just leave this as it is. Do it. Seating color. Yeah, it can remain green. I'm not liking that left field though. So I'm kind of digging the bleachers at this point. Even with the racing parts. I wonder if I could go in there with Photoshop. If I can find this model. Wouldn't it be fun to put Fatima cigarettes out here and stuff like that? All right, let's make this thing a little quirky. What do we want to do here? How about the fence color? You can customize colors. Yeah. I'm really doing this just as an excuse to hang out for a while. Post height, post position says active post. So you can see, you guys probably can't see it, but there's a little dot going around here, and this is where you sort of grab things and like do stuff. So we can look at park factors. So it's a pretty big ballpark. So wherever that is, there you can see. Look, you could do really weird stuff if you wanted to. Like somebody would die hitting that. So we can increase, decrease, right? If we want all the way around. It's not as intuitive. Believe it or not, the Earl Weaver baseball ballpark designer is far more intuitive than this thing. The Marlboro Man next to the scoreboard. You know Out of the Park's not going to do that, but wouldn't that be great if they did? That's not going to happen. Let's just go to step 4. We can always go back. Oh, it just has a stadium. So we'll call it Castro Field. There we go. It's capacity of 25,000. Country. Well, we have to make it Portugal, of course, because Cousin Ken. Right? There we go. Select exact city. We'll just make it none. Assign to team. And we'll assign this to Cooperstown. We're not going to save the ballpark yet, though. Can we save the ballpark? No. Basics. Layout. I really, 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 really hope we can bring this in if we want to. Let's start with this left field. Where did it go? Where did it go, you bastard? Oh, there we go. Okay, Marcus and Company. Could you make this a little easier to see? Alright, let's start moving this in a little bit. And of course that's going to look really stupid, but that's okay. Okay, and then we go here. Let's move this in a little bit. Why not? Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to move this in. Make it a little shallower. Yeah. I'm thinking short right field porch here. Oops, wrong. Oh, that's as far as it'll go. Well, that's kind of crap. What I want this to be able to do eventually, if it'll be robust enough, is I can look at any picture of any ballpark and recreate it in here. That's what I would like to be able to do. What ballpark was it recently that had you running up a hill? That was insanely stupid. Good way to get people hurt. Yes, it can have thousands of free agents for a season, actually. Because if you just use the baseball history collection as it is, you can have everybody as a free agent. Yep. And Steve Tate says that the number of teams actually that you could put in a league increased. So I guess last year or 2021 it was still at, you could only do 80 teams or something in a league. So still not enough room though. Anyhow, I don't know why I'm doing this. We can make this, let's make this, I wish I could, there we go. Oh, I can do that. So can we move this out? Make it, oh, look at that. Look at that. Hey, I can make everybody go far away. Let's move them in. Oh, it didn't like that, did it? Yes, it did. So I can click. So there you go, guys. You can actually, because we're going to make this a little smaller ballpark. Why not? Let's give it a weird angle. Why not? Why not? It's a free country, so they say. Oh, that'll be fun. Let's let it bounce around out there a little bit. Okay, we'll save it for now, and I can always come back. Preview and finalize. Go to step 4. Save ballpark. Anyhow, we'll fix it later. Yeah, guys, I guess that's it. I don't know what else to do unless we wanted to do a game on another, not an out park, but maybe something else. Let's just do one. We can always muck about. Do I want to quit the program? Yes, I do. We'll go to Old Faithful here. Hopefully. And we'll close Steam. There we go. Now we're back home. Action PC Baseball. Lethargic fun, says PQ Rubber. So I cleaned out these league files, and this thing is not having a stroke anymore. But we already did an all-time greats franchise league, So let's put our McGreevy's up against somebody. Why not? 1940 Cincinnati. Do you guys want to pick another team? Pick a team. We'll put our Ned McGreevy All-Stars up in a game really quickly. Any team in baseball history, go for it. Or a Steve Tate file, doesn't matter. Just anything after 1920 and after, let's say. 1925 and after. So we've already done, let's see. PQ River saying the 1951 White Sox. All right, that works. So I know that's a season I don't have installed, and I need to anyhow because of that 1951 Dodgers-Giants game. Okay. So 1951. See how those White Sox did, huh? Not so well. But let's see who's on that 51 White Sox team. Looking at batters, Minnie Minoso, which I have to set these guys to active once I bring them over. There's Nellie Fox, Eddie Robinson, Phil Macy, or Masi if you say it in Italian. Al Zarilla. All right. So the 1951 White Sox. All right. And let's go back to our Ned McGreevy All-Stars, and let's bring in the 51 White Sox. I'm actually going to bring in the Giants and Dodgers too for that game that I want to do. So it was actually nice to install this season. It works. Okay, import teams, 3 teams, exit and exit. There we go. Let me make sure everybody's going to be active. Okay, everybody will be active. All right, so White Sox against the Ned McGreevy's. The McGreevy's had to play on the road last time. They'll play at home today, whatever. I know nothing really about these 51 White Sox, so. PQ Rivers is a radio host. He's liked Gene Shepard spoke highly of the 1950 Sox, so it came to mind. Okay. Let's do it. Let's have some fun. The White Sox versus Dublin. And we're not going to play this in a neutral park. Let's play it at one of our different parks that we had set up. Or just pick a park, doesn't matter. Oh, you know what? For, just because I like the Huntington Avenue grounds, let's do it at the Huntington Avenue grounds. And let's make this a May 22nd game. Okay, Chicago will be managed by the computer, Dublin managed by home. Ken Castro, are you up for making a lineup here for the Duff Zeds? Let me actually change this title so that both games get a little credit. There. And if not, I'll just zap up a computer lineup. Oh, I'll tell you, whoever wants to make a lineup, all right, there, Ty Cobb to lead off. World's Worst Gamer, if you're feeling the love, I'm not seeing Ken around, or both of you, doesn't matter. Anybody. Ken might be rolling up a game, buddy, you never know. I'm sure Ken's awake. Robbie, let me tell you, there's been nights that Ken Castro's been up with me, and we've been chatting baseball on here in a live stream like at 4 or 5 in the morning. Delahanty batting second. Watching some good baseball. First inning of the World Baseball Classic. Cool. Oh, enjoy it, Ken. Enjoy it, man. Well, I'm gonna bat. We're gonna bat Wagner, man. We're gonna put on this. Wagner's got to start. Yeah, random's nice. Let's see what the computer does with random. We'll keep Cobb and Delahanty, maybe. The Beatles Baseball Classic. All right, so we're gonna have Cobb lead off. And we said Delahanty was batting second. Where'd you go, Ed? Ed, don't go off the bridge. There he is. Lajoie third. McGuire catching. Blah 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 blah. So Dan Bruthers, yeah, let's put Dan Bruthers in. At first base, and Buck Ewing will be out. Okay, so Bruthers third. That works. So we have Cobb, Delahanty, Bruthers. I don't think Lajoie should be cleanup though. Bruthers third or fourth. Okay, let's put Dan Bruthers third. So who do we want to bat cleanup? Certainly not Lajoie. There's not a lot of home run power on this team, though. So who's our shortstop right now? Oh, we don't have a shortstop. Holy shit. Cobb. So Radbourn's got to go out. For the field tonight. We love Old Haas, but we're gonna put Cobb in right. And we're gonna sit Radbourn, and Mike Tiernan was a bit of a hero. Now let's put Keeler in right. Or I guess left. Who's the right fielder? Yep. And Cobb is going to be in. What the hell? Just Cobb is not going to be. So Tris Speaker. Oh man, this sucks. Tris Speaker's going to have to sit. Because Tris is like, I'm a center fielder, man, so Tris Speaker's going to have to sit. Keeler in right. Alright, we'll put Keeler in right. Now we're all over the place. Tris Speaker is just out of the game, man. He's a straight up center fielder, and that's it. See you later, Tris. Alright, where do we have Delahanty? He's in left. Speaker's going to sit. Wagner's coming in for Speaker. And there we go. And we're not starting Walter Johnson. Holy hell. Walter Johnson gets all kinds of starts. You know, Christy Mathewson has just been having it rough. We're going to bring in Mathewson. There we go. Mike Kelly at catcher. Wow, Mike Kelly was a catcher. The highest rated catcher on here is Buck Ewing. And I think Ewing's got a catch. But we could put Mike King Kelly. He was a catcher. He's a pretty good one. World's Gamer likes to play players out of position. Sometimes you have to. Sometimes it's fun. Sure. Let's just go with it. It's just an exhibition. Here we go. Alright, so Huntington Avenue grounds, and we're going to see Saul Rogovin, and I hope I'm saying that name correctly. He'll be starting for the White Sox, and he'll be posed by Christy Mathewson. Alright, Hall of Famer Minnie Minoso leads it off here against the Dublin Nuffseds. Managed by Ken Castro and owned by Ned McGreevy. Minoso, 324, 10 home runs, 74 runs batted in. Matty's finished his warm-up pitches. Got a beautiful day for baseball here at Huntington Avenue grounds. Mathewson swings. Minoso, little chopper to short. Wagner up with it onto Bruthers. This is going to be close. Minnie Minoso will beat this one out. Infield single. Minoso, 31 steals for Nellie Fox. Much beloved Chicago White Sox franchise. Nellie hitting .313, 4 home runs, 55 ribbies, and a big chaw there. And kids, that's bubblegum. Actually, this channel isn't for kids, so it's a big plug whatever the stuff is, mail pouch or whatever. Minoso, good lead at first. Matty with a check of the runner, the delivery, throw over. Minoso back ahead of the Dan Bruthers tag. Mathewson winds and fires. Nellie Fox gets the bunt down. Ewing will go to Lajoie covering. Minoso makes second on the play. One down here, top of the first. And the White Sox sending up at first baseman Eddie Robinson. Eddie hitting .282, 29 dingers, 117 ribbies. Matty winds and fires. The 1-1. And Robinson with a base at the left. Delahanty up with it. Minoso will hold third. Chicago with runners at the corners. Minoso at third. Eddie Robinson at first. One away for Don Lenhart. Left fielder hitting .266, 10 home runs, 45 runs batted in. Matty from the stretch in the 2-1 to Lenhart. And this one gets by Ewing, and Minoso is going to come in to score. This one a pass ball. And Chicago drawing first blood here with a run in the first thanks to the Ewing pass ball. One away. Eddie Robinson in scoring position for Chicago. Don Lenhart back in, and the 3-1 delivery from Christy Mathewson. And Lenhart, this one catches the outside corner, and Matty picks up a strikeout. It's 2 down here for Phil Massey. The catcher hitting .271, 4 home runs, 28 runs batted in. Eddie Robinson out there, not known as a base stealer. Matty sets and fires. Full count to Massey. Massey swings this one. Fly ball to center. Ty Cobb has it. A little bit of a leaping catch by Cobb. Side retired, but the White Sox pick up a run. 2 hits, no errors, 1/2 inning. The 1951 Chicago White Sox won, and the Ned McGreevy, Ken Castro Nuffseds of Dublin coming to bat. Due up to lead it off here. Ty Cobb, 374, 6 home runs, 101 runs batted in. Saul Rogovin, the line on him, a 2.48 earned run average, 11 wins, 7 losses, 192 and 2/3 innings pitched, 67 walks, 77 strikeouts, a whip of 1.209, and opponents hitting 234 against him. The 2-1 to Ty Cobb. Fastball cut on, routine fly ball to right. Minnie Minoso draws a beat on it and makes the catch. 1 up, 1 down here in the bottom of the first for left fielder Ed Delahanty, hitting .378, 10 home runs, 118 runs batted in. Rogovin's delivery, the 2-0 to Delahanty. Fastball, base hit, left field. Lendhart up with it, gets it into Carrascal. So Delahanty aboard. Delahanty has some speed. I believe we are 2-3, Ken. I think. So we beat the Cardinals. We beat the Orioles. We lost to the Rangers. Lost to the Red Sox. I think we lost to the Indians. So yeah, we are 2 for 3. Not bad. Not bad. Todd was wondering how these older teams would play against modern teams, and we're doing a pretty good job here as we beat those 1970 Orioles. They're a tough team. Delahanty could lead off at first. Rogovin checks. Delahanty throws over. Delahanty staying honest. Ken, or if anybody, if you want to call some plays, please feel free. Right now, I'm just playing good old hit away. Although, no, we're not. We're gonna steal. We're gonna steal. Rogovin brings it home. There goes Delahanty. The throw down. Delahanty is caught stealing. Well, that sucks. 2 away. So Masi, only a 3-arm behind the dish, had to try. Base is empty, 2 away. Rogovin deals to Bruthers. This one chopped up the first. What a play by Nellie Fox. Diving stop, throws on to Eddie Robinson to retire Bruthers and the side. So no runs, 1 hit, no errors. We've played 1. It's the White Sox 1 and the Nuffseds nothing. And Bob Dillinger, no relation, I would hope, to the other Bob Dillinger. He doesn't look quite like a gangster anyhow, but you never know. So Bob Dillinger do lead it off, leading the violin case. Maybe he's a cousin of Bob Dillinger? Who knows? I don't know. Of John Dillinger, I should say. I actually knew a Bob Dillinger who was I think he was the great-nephew of John Dillinger, so. And his name was Bob. Good old Bob, but that's not Bob either, so. Anyhow, Matty with the 0-1. Dillinger swings. Fly ball. Cobb coming in quickly, making the catch. 1 up, 1 down. A pair of low strikeout guys. And here's his cousin Ken, Fox, and Kohler. Jim Busby now. Busby hitting .283, 5 homers, 68 ribbies. 1 away here. Matty deals. 3-1 pitch. Busby popped on the infield. Wagner calling for it and making the catch. 2 away here for Chico Carrascal. Shortstop hitting .264, 2 home runs, 58 runs batted in. Big Six brings it home. The 0-2, and Carrascal goes down on strikes. Big swing and a miss. No runs, hits, or errors. We go to the bottom of the second, and it's the 51 White Sox 1, and the 1900 Nuffseds nothing. Napoleon Lajoie, Buck Ewing, and Eddie Collins. Is that Eddie Collins or Jimmy Collins? Jimmy Collins. I don't know if Eddie Collins is even on the roster. I want to look. Let's look at second baseman. And how about it? Eddie Collins didn't make the cut. Okay. Rogovin deals the 0-2 to Napoleon Lajoie. Fastball, sky to center. Busby coming in and making the catch. 1 up, 1 down. Buck Ewing assuming catcher duties tonight. .273 average, 7 homers, 66 ribbies. Ewing able to play a bunch of positions here for the Nuffseds and did so for Providence. Rogovin deals 0-1 to Buck. Fastball swung on. Lazy fly ball to center. Lenhart had him played perfectly. Side retired. And now we're back. Now at the bottom of the second. Jimmy Collins draws the walk. So Collins aboard. Jimmy with 17 steals in the season. Here's Hannes Wagner. Wagner, 355 hitter, 7 homers, 100 runs batted in. Here's the wind and the pitch from Rogovin. And there goes Collins, the throw down from Massey, and Collins is out. So Massey caught stealing, and that retires the side because it jumped ahead there a little bit. That was me clicking the mouse too much. So Saul Rogovin will lead it off here for Chicago, back at the top of the order, making Minnie Minoso and Nellie Fox. Mathewson has struck out 2, delivers to Rogovin, the 1-1. Rogovin swings, chopper to third. Jimmy Collins quickly up with it, and the throw across the diamond to Dan Bruthers to get the pitcher Rogovin back at the top of the order, Minnie Minoso. Minoso, 1-for-1 infield single back in the first. Matty brings it home, the 0-1. Minoso swings, grounded hard to Wagner. Wagner bobbles the ball, and Minoso aboard thanks to the error. So Chicago with a man on, and Minoso does have speed. Nellie Fox sacrificed back in the first. Big 6 with the 2-1. There goes Minoso, and the hit and run was on. This one chopped foul on the first base side. Fox back in the box. Count even on him. Mathewson throws across to keep Minoso honest. Matty brings it home. Fastball. Fox swings line right to Hannes Wagner. Minoso quickly back to first as Wagner spears that one out of the air. So hope you guys are enjoying the real World Baseball Classic. As Eddie Robinson steps in. Robinson singled back in the first. 1-2 from Christy Mathewson. Robinson lines it right to Dan Brewers, and that retires the side. Bottom of the third, Chicago leading Dublin 1-0. Hannes Wagner, Wee Willie Keeler, and Christy Mathewson do up. Wagner, 355, 7 home runs, 100 runs batted in. Rogovin brings home the 2-1 pitch. Wagner swings, chopper up the first base line. Eddie Robinson will take it to the bag himself to retire the Flying Dutchman for out number 1. Keeler hitting 374, 2 homers, 68 runs batted in, and played for every damn team in baseball. Thank you, Willie. Rogovin brings it home. Hit him where they ain't, Willie. And Willie just does that. Base hit left field as Lenhart comes up with it. Carrasco has it. Keeler's going for second. Robinson has it. And Keeler was caught off first. Keeler's starting to get a little bit, getting a little greedy. And Lenhart throws him out. So 2 down for Christy Mathewson, hitting 216, a home run, 14 ribbies for the Christian gentleman. Saul Rogovin with just a walk in this game. Matty swings, chopped to third. Bob Dillinger up with it on to Robinson, and that retires Mathewson. And the side, we go to the fourth. It's still 1-0, the 1951 Chicago White Sox. It's a team I frankly would never thought have, to play against or whatever. I mean, the obvious choice would have been the 1959 White Sox. But good stuff here, so thank you, PQ River, for turning me on to a team that I really don't know a lot about. A few of the players I know here. Don Lenhart will lead it off here. Struck out back in the first. He'll be followed by Phil Massey and Bob Dillinger. Big 6 with a 2-2. And that's the third strikeout for Christy Mathewson. Lenhart with a big swing and a miss on the Mathewson fastball. 1 down for catcher Phil Massey. Massey flied to deep left center his last time up. Yeah, I said it was a semi-random guess, but so far, neat. Yeah, it is. Maybe you have to dig into some of these third place teams, fourth place teams every once in a while. One team I would like to see our Ned McGreevy's play. Speaking of second place team, We'll have to see if there's going to be any player duplication, though. It'll be the 1922 St. Louis Browns. Because George Sisler is on our Ned McGreevy league, so that could be a problem. Matty delivers to Massey, the 3-1. Massey lays off, draws the walk. So Matty delivers his first walk, and we go back to the top of the order, or we go to the number 6 hitter, I'm sorry, and Bob Dillinger. So Massey, no speed. Matty brings it home to Dillinger, the 1-0. There goes Massey, the throw down, and caught stealing. So Ewing comes up gunning. 2 away, Dillinger batting with the bases empty. The 1-1, Dillinger swings, fly ball down the right field line, and Willie Keeler makes the catch. Side retired. We have us a little pitching duel. 1-0 going to the bottom of the 4th. World's Worst Gamer says, on that note, it would be interesting to create a league of only players he's never heard of. Could be fun. That would be a blast. For me, it would be a lot of, it would be half the 1960s players, that's for sure. All right, back at the top of the order for the Ned McGreevy 9, and it's Ty Cobb. So Cobb fly to right back in the 1st. For Saul Rogovin, he's just walked a batter, letting his defense do the work for him. The 0-2 delivery, Cobb cuts on this one, high fly ball to left, back on it is Lenhart, and he will make the catch for out number 1. So that went out to deep center, or deep left, FD7 on that. Delahanty, Ed Delahanty is 1 for 1, single between third and short. Rogovin brings it, the 3-1. Delahanty lays off and draws the walk. Second walk issued by Saul Rogovin. Dan Bruthers 0 for 1. Bruthers grounded to second back in the 1st. Bottom of the 4th action here. Rogovin brings it. And there goes Delahanty, the throw down by Massey. And Delahanty picks up the steal. Tying run in scoring position now for the Nuffseds. Bruthers back in the box, and the 1-0 delivery from Rogovin. Fastball swung on, hit to right field. Minoso had him played perfectly. Delahanty not tagging. 2 away here for Napoleon Lajoie. Lajoie fly to shallow center back in the 2nd. Rogovin brings it now. Fastball, Lajoie swings, lofted to left, down into the glove of Lenhart. Side retired. We go to the 5th. 1-0. Jim Busby will lead it off, and then Chico Carrascal and Saul Rogovin. So Jim Busby popped a short back in the 2nd. Mathewson with 3 strikeouts and a walk. Each pitcher surrendering 2 hits. There's been 1 error in this game. Hannes Wagner committing an error. 0-1 to Busby from Mathewson. Wagner up with it quickly. Hard peg to Dan Bruthers to retire Busby for out number 1. Chico Carrascal struck out in the 2nd against Mathewson. Ewing sets the target. Matty brings it home. The 1-2. Make that 4 strikeouts for Mathewson. Big swing and a miss. 2 away for Saul Rogovin, the pitcher, grounded to third back in the 3rd. The 1-2 from Big 6, and that is strikeout number 5. Mathewson may be finding his groove here. Side retired. Bottom of the 5th, 1-0. Buck Ewing, Jimmy Collins, and Hannes Wagner. Ewing fly to left center back in the 2nd. Rogovin's pitch. Fastball. Base hit by Buck Ewing over short. Jim Busby has it, gets it back into Chico Carrascal. So a runner aboard. Buck Ewing with 31 steals back in the old Ned McGreevy League, 26 steals in this baseball history collection. Jimmy Collins walked back in the 2nd. Wagner waiting on deck, nobody out. Rogovin deals. There goes Ewing, the throw down by Massey, and Ewing has it stolen. Tying run in scoring position, and nobody out for the Nuffseds. Rogovin brings it to Jimmy Collins now. Collins gets the bunt down, and Massey onto Fox, and Ewing will make it to 3rd. Tying run 90 feet away. The Flying Dutchman, 0 for 1. Grounded to first, back in the third. Rogovan brings it now, the 2-1 to Wagner. Wagner sends this fastball to center. Busby has it. Ewing will tag. And this game is tied at 1 in the bottom of the 5th. As Ken Castro says, let's tie it up, boys. And indeed, it does happen. All right, Wee Willie Keeler is 1 for 1. He singled back in the third, but then making too wide a turn at first and was nailed. Rogovan's delivery to Keeler. Keeler slaps this one, base hit into center field. Jim Busby up with it. So Keeler aboard with 2 down, and Christy Mathewson batting. Big 6 grounded to third, back in the third. Here's the windup in the pitch from Rogovan. Mathewson swings. Oh, come back to the mound. Rogovan quickly getting to the ball to retire the side. However, the Nuffseds pick up a run, 2 hits, and no errors. 5 in the books here at Huntington Avenue grounds. We're tied at 1. Chicago sends up the top of its order. Minnie Minoso, Nellie Fox, and Eddie Robinson. Minoso 1 for 2. So Eddie Robinson also played for the 1948 Cleveland Indians. We saw Eddie Robinson way back in our historic 16 tournament over the summer and early fall in out-of-the-park baseball. Those 1948 Indians defeated by the 1971 Pittsburgh Pirates. Minoso 1 for 2 in the game. Infield single back in the first, grounded to short, but was safe on an error in the third. Matty with 5 strikeouts steals to Minoso, the 0-1. Chopper and Nap Lajoie diving stop on to Bruthers to retire Minoso. Great play by Lajoie. 1 up, 1 down for Nellie Fox. Started his major league career very, very young. Fox line to short, back in the third. Mathewson brings it, the 3-0. Fox, chopper to second. Lajoie boots this one. Second error for the Nuffseds, and Nellie Fox aboard for first baseman Eddie Robinson. Robinson singled and lined to first. Fox at first with only 9 steals. Matty brings it to Robinson, count even. Robinson swings, lazy fly ball to left, right down into the glove of Ed Delahanty. Fox gets back to first. It's 2 away here in the top of the 6th, and that brings up Don Lenhart. And he's the one that gunned down Wee Willie Keeler. He has struck out twice against Mathewson. Matty winds and deals. There goes Fox to throw down Lajoie's tag in time. And that will end the inning. No runs, no hits, no 1 error, nobody left. We go to the bottom of the 6th. And we are tied at 1. Ty Cobb, Ed Delahanty, and Ed Bruthers. Ted Bruthers. Well, they all are. Ed Bruthers. No. Ted Bruthers. Oh, my God. All right, I'm tired. This is the last game for tonight. Cobb has flied out twice. Dead Bruthers. All right. Do not laugh. Do not laugh. Rogovan delivers to Cobb, the 0-2. Cobb, chopper to Rogovan, off the hill, close, and Cobb beats it out. I know, right? All right. Hey, good night, Big Clue. You betcha. You're most welcome, buddy. See you again next time. I know. Laugh it up. Laugh it up. Dead Bruthers. Oh, my God. What's wrong with me? It's not going to turn in that night during the Ned McGreevy League, though. I said about Wagner taking it deep in the hole. I promise you. I'm going to keep my shit together, man. Ed Delahanty is 1 for 1. Single to Watt. Cobb at first. Rogovan checks the runner. And there goes Cobb. Mossy up with it, and Ty Cobb has it stolen. Cobb in scoring position. Potential go-ahead run here in the bottom of the 6th. Delahanty back in there. The 0-1 delivery to Ed. And extra base hit. Cobb will score on the double. Delahanty will stop at second. And the Nuffseds with a 2-1 lead here. Actually, probably a lot of these guys in the Chicago team aren't around anymore here. So, there we go. Oh, my God. Robbie remembers that night. Jeez. I had to actually mute my mic. I couldn't stop. It's like if you're sitting in church or at a funeral and you just bust out laughing. Oh, man. I should tell a story about the night I busted out laughing in church. And it had to do with that show in Living Color. And my ex-father-in-law and something he said before we went off to midnight mass. Oh, my God. Anyhow, that's for another night. So Dan Bruthers, he is nothing for two. He's grounded out, fly to right. Oh, Robbie, that was painful, buddy. Delahanty at second, a run in. Raghavan delivers to Bruthers. Bruthers swings, and this one, base hit to right field. Minoso up with it. Delahanty will come around to score. Bruthers with an RBI single, and here come the Nuff Seds. It's 3-1, plating 2 here thus far. Bottom of the 6th, nobody out. And Dan Bruthers, 30 steals credited to him. Nap Lajoie, nothing for 2. He's flied out twice. Raghavan, check the runner, throws over. And Bruthers in under the Eddie Robinson tag in plenty of time. Raghavan leg kick and the delivery. There goes Bruthers, Massey's throw. And they've got Massey's number now as Bruthers picks up a steal. You see stolen base number 30. That's actually keeping a tally from the old Ned McGreevy League. So Bruthers right on point with the baseball history collection. Lajoie back in. The 0-1 delivery from Raghavan. Lajoie swings. Long fly ball. Busby making a great running catch in right center. Bruthers will tag and make third easily. So the Nuff Seds looking for run number 4, and it is just 90 feet away. And Buck Ewing in at the dish now. He is 1 for 2. Ewing singled back in the 5th. Raghavan's 1-1 delivery to Buck Ewing. Ewing swings, base hit. RBI for Buck Ewing as Leonard gets back in. And it's 4-1 Nuff Seds now. So Chicago holding the lead until the 5th when the Nuff Seds tied up. Now in the 6th they plated 3-1 down. And Buck Ewing has a stolen base in this game. Here's Jimmy Collins. Jimmy Collins walked and sacrificed. Raghavan checks the runner. Ewing at first. There goes Ewing. Massey throws down, and Ewing gets the steal. This looks like a Ken Castro game now. Ewing in scoring position for Jimmy Collins back in the box. The 0-1 they throw back. Ewing back safely. So Nellie Fox trying to catch the great Buck Ewing napping, but to no avail. 0-1 delivery. Oh, the throw back again. The boos going up here around Providence Avenue grounds, or Huntington Avenue grounds. Why are you throwing? Buck Ewing is an innocent man. So Raghavan now, once again, but this time he brings it home. Jimmy Collins draws the walk. It looked like Raghavan might be a little bit unnerved at this point now. Hannes Wagner, nothing for 1. I would love to see Wagner do something in this game. Does have a sacrifice, scoring Buck Ewing back in the 5th. Raghavan delivers to the Flying Dutchman. The 0-2. Wagner, chopper to third. Dillinger up with it on to Eddie Robinson to retire Wagner for the second out. The runners do advance. Ewing at third. Collins at second for Wee Willie Keeler. Perfect 2 for 2 today for Wee Willie. Raghavan brings it home. The 0-1. Keeler swings. Base hit to center. RBI scoring Ewing. Coming around third is Jimmy Collins as Busby gets the ball into Chico Carrasquel. It's now 6-1 in favor of the Nuff Seds. And Ken Castro saying, go, go, go. Nuff Seds showing the Sox who the real go-go team is. This is looking like one of your games that you manage, Ken. All right, Keeler Bryce. See, Ken coming alive now, and I love it. So while we were playing more modern baseball, Ken sort of, but now very animated into it. So, Ken, you know 99% of the time on this channel you're going to see older baseball. But I'm glad you're enjoying the World Baseball Classic. Cuba versus the Netherlands. And I lived in the latter country for a while, so curious how the Netherlands will do. I think Cuba's going to destroy them, but that's just me. Ty Cobb waits on deck as Christy Mathewson bats with 2 down and 1 on. Raghavan with the 0-2. Mathewson swings, fly ball to center. Jim Busby coming in quickly and making the catch, but 5 runs, 5 hits, no errors, 1 left. We go to the 7th at 6-1 in favor of the Nuff Seds over the 1951 Chicago White Sox. Don Lenhart will lead it off here. Phil Massey waits on deck, and then Bob Dillinger. Big Six is looking definitely sharp tonight. Best I've seen him in these little all-star games that we've been playing, cousin. Lenhart has struck out twice against the Christian gentleman. Ewing sets the target. Matty winds and fires the 2-1 to Lenhart. Chopper to Wagner. Wagner quickly up with it. And plenty of time on to Bruthers. And Lenhart is out number 1. We have an injury on the field. And it looks like, so Mathewson injured, may have pulled a muscle. So Matty is out of the game. And we're going to let cousin Ken Castro have the honor of calling in our relief pitcher. So just as we're saying that Matty was looking sharp, he's out. So we have 4 pitchers left. Rube Waddell. The Ned McGreevy leader in strikeouts will come in to pitch. So Mathewson with a good showing today. 1 run, 2 hits. And Rube Waddell. 1.94 earned run average, 19 wins, 12 losses, 273 and a third innings pitched, 80 walks, 229 strikeouts. From Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania. You know, it's funny how everybody makes a lot of jokes about Rube Waddell. And while it, may be true, I mean the things that he's a heavy drinker, may have been even borderline mental intelligence issues, what have you. But there's no denying what a great pitcher Waddell was, and did crazy stuff in the off season like wrestle alligators and that. Died in 1914, helping victims of a flood. Of all the great top-tier Hall of Famers, I would venture that Rube Waddell, of the great Hall of Famers, may be the most forgotten of them. And that's very, very sad. Waddell, I mean, again, you had a few lefties that would come along, like Lefty Grove and what have you, but that space between Waddell and Sandy Koufax, how many overpowering strikeout artists did you have after Waddell? Not many. You had far more right-handers. Waddell delivers now to Phil Massey. Massey has flied out and walked. And yeah, I'm a huge Waddell fan. What can I say? Massey swings and gets a base hit off of Waddell. How about that? 1 out and a runner on for Bob Dillinger, who is nothing for 2. He has flied out twice. Waddell with the 0-2, and Rube Waddell picks up a strikeout. So taking a seat is Bob Dillinger, wondering if he is related to John Dillinger as Jim Busby steps in. Busby in the game has popped out and grounded out. Waddell checks the runner, brings it home. Busby, a little grounded to short. Wagner will go to Lajoie to retire Massey and the side. Middle of the 7th. The Nuff Seds 6 and the White Sox 1. I mean, I would say that in the space between Waddell and Koufax, certainly Lefty Grove. Lefty Grove, just ridiculous. And Steve Tate and I were talking about Lefty Grove and Rube Waddell one day in just one of our little baseball chats. And when you do the ERA plus, you do the adjustment and everything, Grove, so very, very dominant too. And then, again, not knocking the left-handed pitchers. You had some great ones, but wow. I mean, Waddell, and it's such a shame that, and again, I mean, he died in 1914, so does not deserve to be forgotten. Not at all. What a great pitcher. Make all the jokes about fire trucks and toys and puppies, but he was a great pitcher. Cobb 1 for 3. Singled back in the 6th. And I think that's why I love doing older baseball, is hopefully a few people, and I know the guys in this chat, right, are reminded, hey, this guy was a great pitcher. Raghavan delivers, and Ty Cobb has a double at least, and Cobb does lead it off with a double. Here come the Nuffseds again. Ed Delahanty, RBI double, scoring Cobb back in the 6th. The Nuffseds wouldn't mind a carbon copy of that one. Raghavan has walked 3 in this game, has yet to strike out anyone. The 1-1 to Delahanty. Fastball popped in foul ground. Mossy going back, but he's going to run out of room here. Delahanty back in the box, and the 1-2 from Raghavan. Delahanty swings. Long fly ball to left, but Lenhart has it. Cobb tags. He'll go to third. Dillinger's tag, not in time. Close play at third, though. So Cobb slides into third, and he's safe. Potential 7th run, 90 feet away. Raghavan still in there as Dan Bruthers steps in. 0 for 1, or the 0-1 pitch. Fox has it on to Robinson. They send Cobb, and run number 7 does indeed score here in the bottom of the 7th. Napoleon Lajoie batting with the bases empty. He is nothing for 3. Raghavan's 1-1 pitch. Curveball. Lajoie pops this one on the infield, so Lajoie a bit frustrated today. Eddie Robinson squeezes it to retire the side, but another Nuffseds run scores a 1 hit, no errors. We've played 7. The Nuffseds 7, the 1951 White Sox 1. Chico Carrasquel will lead it off. Saul Raghavan, and then Minnie Minoso. Carrasquel in the game has struck out twice. Waddell in for relief. Christy Mathewson injured last inning. Waddell with a strikeout. Here's the 0-1. Carrasquel bunts. Ewing pouncing on it, but bad throw by Buck Ewing. E2. Carrasquel will remain at first, however, as Bruthers keeps the ball near him, but Carrasquel already at first. Saul Raghavan is nothing for 2. Will we see a pinch hitter? We will not. The 0-1, and Raghavan, chopper to Wagner. Wagner to Lajoie, but Carrasquel breaks up the double play. 1 away, and Raghavan at first. And back at the top of the order for Minnie Minoso. Infield single back in the 1st. He was safe on an error into 3rd and grounded to 2nd in the 6th. Raghavan conservative lead off 1st. Waddell winds and fires the 0-1 pitch. Minoso swings in the curveball. Lajoie to Wagner, and they are not going to get the double play as Minoso makes it to 1st. 2 down for Nellie Fox, the White Sox second baseman. Sacrificed in 1st, lined to short, and grounded to 2nd, and was safe on an error. Minoso, good leadoff 1st. Good wheels on the Chicago leadoff hitter. Waddell checks the runner. The 0-1 coming into Nellie Fox. Fox, little grounder to Lajoie. Lajoie underhands to Bruthers. Side retired. Bottom of the 8th, enough said 7. The White Sox 1. Buck Ewing 2 for 3, including 2 steals today. Also an RBI in the 6th, scoring Dan Bruthers. Raghavan lets it go, and base hit. Buck Ewing slapped hard. Minoso juggling the ball out there in right, and Ewing is going to go to 2nd. Ewing hesitated, thinking Minoso was going to play the little I can't hold on to the ball trick, but Ewing tearing off for second and makes it. Ewing in scoring position for Jimmy Collins. Collins has walked twice and sacrificed. Ewing, good lead. Off third, Rogovin checks the runner, the 2-1. And Jimmy Collins sends it deep to left. Back on it is Lenhart. He'll make the catch. Buck Ewing will tag and make third easily. One away, potential 8th run for the Nuffseds at third base. And Hannes Wagner is nothing for 2. Wagner RBI in the 5th. Rogovin works home to him now, the 1-2, and Wagner base hit up the middle, RBI, and Wagner pulls into second with an RBI double. Wagner tearing around the bases, 8-1 Nuffseds. Keeler, Wee Willie, he is a perfect 3 for 3, including an RBI in the 6th, scoring Buck Ewing and Jimmy Collins. At that point, making it 6-1 in favor of the Nuffseds. Checker Wagner at second by Rogovin. Massey with the sign. The 1-1 pitch to Keeler. Keeler has his 4th hit today, and that's going to score Wagner. RBI for Keeler, and it's 9-1. It's a laugher. Infield looking bunt. Rube Waddell. We're going to let the Rube bat. 147 with 8 runs batted in. Rogovin works. Oh, no, I guess the AI isn't. Home run Baker comes in. Long fly to right. Minoso has it. So thank you, AI. I really wanted to leave Rube in there. Oh well. 2 down, Ty Cobb. It's 2 for 4. Wee Willie Keeler, 50 steals. Actually not accurate. 43 steals in the baseball history collection. Rogovin brings it home. The 2 and Cobb swinging on the first pitch. Dillinger up with a close play at first, and Cobb beats it out. Hit number 14 for the Nuffseds. Keeler at second, Cobb at first. 2 away for Delahanty, who is 2 for 2 today, including an RBI, scoring Ty Cobb back in the 6th. Saw Rogovin taking a beating out there. The 1-2 pitch. Delahanty swings. Fly ball. Busby going back into his left. Makes the catch short of the wall. Side retired. But let's just say it was another great inning for the Nuffseds. 2 runs, 4 hits, 1 error. We go to the 9th, and we need a pitcher. And I know Ken wants to call for Old Haas, and that's probably who we're going to bring in. Sox aren't quite up to snuff on this one. It would be Saul cooked. It would be interesting. Yeah, I thought so. Old Haas, you got it. I'd like to do another game sometime, PQ River, and try the 1959 White Sox. Or, how about the White Sox, was it 2005? So some good White Sox teams to choose from. The White Sox had some good teams in the 1970s. Can't do any early White Sox, 1917, because of player duplication. Old Haas coming in just to do his thing. The line on these teams for the White Sox, 1-3-1. The Nuffseds, 9-14-3. The Nuffseds have left 5, and the White Sox have stranded 4. Eddie Robinson will lead it off here. Robinson, 1 for 3. Old Haas deals. Robinson swings. Long fly ball to left. Ed Delahanty has it. 1 up, 1 down for Don Lenhart. Nothing for 3 for Lenhart. Struck out twice and grounded to short. And no, I'm sorry, Bud Stewart will come in to pinch hit. Chopper to second. Lajoie underhands to Radbourne covering for the second out. It's up to Phil Massey. And Massey, 1 for 2. Singled back in the 7th. Old Haas wheels and deals. Massey swings. Wagner up with it. This should be your ball game. Dan Bruthers has it. And this was just an absolute merciless beating. The Nuffseds taking this from the White Sox 9-1. Whew. All right. So what to say? What to say? Keeler 4 for 4 with 3 runs batted in. Ty Cobb 3 for 5 with a double and a stolen base. Buck Ewing went 3 for 4 with 2 steals. and Saul Rogovan just got absolutely destroyed. So there we go. Let's just see who it awarded the game-winning RBI to anyhow. So, yeah, it was Delahanty, so that should tell you right there. And that happened in the 6th. And Mathewson injured. There you go. So, let's see. We lost against Cleveland, lost against the A's, won against the Orioles. We haven't played the Reds or Giants yet. We beat the Cardinals. We haven't played Brooklyn. I believe the Red Sox. One of these teams, it was either was it Cleveland or Boston that home run Baker had that had the walk off. We beat one of those teams, lost against Texas, and beat Chicago. Oh yeah, the 1970s A's would be awesome. PQ. Hadn't thought about those guys. Well, let's look at the Chicago White Sox bullpen. So, because the AI doesn't know it's an exhibition, be interesting to see how it plays. So, really, the best pitcher on this team, and we're not going by ERA. Well, maybe we are going by ERA. Let's see. Let's look at WHIP. So. See, I would have brought it, just as far as, he was the workhorse, I guess, with 28 starts. I would have brought in Billy Pierce, because I think Billy Pierce could have shut down this lineup a little bit. But you're right, the AI staying too long with that. But anyhow, fun game. There's JT Dutch. He says, hey, Beatles, just in here for a bit as he's pretending to work. Yeah, we just did... couple games here. We did a league file called Cooperstown in Out of the Park 23, and then just put our nuffseds up against PQ Riverhead. I said, let's put up a team, and he said the 1955 or 1951 White Sox. So, and had fun. So good to see you. I'm always happy when people are pretending to work. Always, always, always. So, we're creating a nice little fun league here on this other side that the McGreevies have faced, and I might want to do something with them. And we already will be set up for the 1951 Brooklyn Dodgers and 51 New York Giants. We'll replay the Shot Heard Round the World game at some point. Yeah, Wilburwood, exactly. Yeah, Wilburwood, so we're talking about. Sox had some good teams in the 1970s. The White Sox are a good franchise, great history. Robbie says he wishes he could pretend to work tomorrow. So, Robbie, do you actually have work tomorrow, or are you going to do a game tonight? What you gonna do? PQ River says he's getting old. No such thing as old as long as you're having fun, man. Okay, so 1972 A's. I'll install that season and bring them in. I don't mind loading this thing up with teams. That is fine with me. 72 A's. Oops, I have to install the season first. Egypt. Install a season. Boom, 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 boom. 1970. You're saying 72, right? Yep. Okay. 1972. Install. And let's look at that 1972 season. While we're at it, so the A's finished 5.5. There we go. Now see, look, we talked about the White Sox having some good teams in the 70s. 1972 White Sox. So we want to get another White Sox team. There's a good one. But Oakland finishing 5.5 in front of Oakland, in front of Chicago in the American League West in the East. Really tight. So the Tigers, a half game over the Red Sox. The National League, there was no race at all. The Pittsburgh Pirates, 11 games over the Chicago Cubs. And the Cincinnati Reds, 10.5 over the Houston Astros. So the American League, the much better race in 1972. JT Dutch saying that the 1972 White Sox are all about Dick, don't call me Richie Allen. All right, so we're going to bring in, I want to have some fun with this league, man. So I'm going to import 4 teams. We're going to forget the National League. Although these would be powerful teams for our McGreevies to face. Yeah, you know what? We're going to bring in some teams here. Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, Detroit, Boston. I almost could bring in we already have an Orioles team. Oakland and Chicago. Now, if I remember all that, that'll be amazing. The more the merrier is what I say. All right, so let's import some teams from 1972. God, this is fun. I'm such a geek. All right, where the hell is 1972? You guys just did see me install it. All right, so let's just exit and exit, and let's go back to 1972, and then this was a good season, wasn't it? If I were to do a season replay, I wouldn't bother with the National League, but I would definitely love to do a replay in the American League, and I think it would be fun to see to manage the White Sox of 1972. Let's look at that roster. So there, we're talking about Wilbur Wood. Who else do we have here? Let's look at starts. So you had Wilbur Wood, Stan Bonson, Tom Bradley, and Dave Lemons. Terry Forster with 29 saves. Of course, I guess in the era of Mariano Rivera, 29 saves doesn't seem a lot, but who was hitting back then, man? Let's do games here. There he is. Dick Allen hit .308 that year with 37 home runs, 113 runs batted in. And Dick Allen also managed to steal 19. Slugging percentage, look at that. A 6.603. His OPS a 1.023. Wow, JT Dutch absolutely right. Carlos May had a pretty good year as well for the 1972 White Sox. Jay Johnstone had a crap year. This would be a fun team to manage, wouldn't it? Really be a fun team to manage. Yeah, 37 home runs in 1972 is incredible. All right, now let's see if this game. There's Chuck Tanner. Chuck. Go, Chuck. All right, back to the All-Star game. Let's see if we can find 1972 this time. Rosters, teams, import. There's 1972. All right, let me see. We said we're definitely bringing in the White Sox. I don't mind having 2 White Sox teams. And who else did we say? Detroit, I think. Boston. Boston. Where are you, Boston? Was that it? Oh, of course, the Oakland A's. There we go. 4 teams. Oh, no, wait. No. I also wanted to bring in the Pirates and the Reds. Because we're going to have the 72 Pirates and 72 Reds play each other in this, just for giggles. There we go. So 6 teams from 1972. Look at that, man. It's filling up. It's filling up. This is going to turn into a season. Ken, are we creating a new you get a couple older teams in there, man. We could be creating a whole nother league here. This would be fun. Maybe another tournament, perhaps. I don't know. No idea. JT Dodge Comiskey Park was an airport. 352 down the lines, 445 to center. Oof. Yeah, we got there's some great teams in here, man. Oof. Love it, love it, love it. And we'll see some of the teams that played before again. We're going to just play some mix and match. I think this is going to turn out to be something that or something I wanted to show you guys. Is it show empty slots? Where is it? Where the hell is it? Oh yeah, display open slots. So this is how many more teams we can actually put in here, and I think it's what 100. Let's do our little array thing like we did. 6, 1, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep, 120 teams. So unfortunately, yep, there would be 60 of Steve's files you couldn't fit in here. Still a hell of a lot of teams you can put just in one league. Pirates Reds a best of 7 series, says Robbie. I can do that. I could do that, Robbie. I would actually pull them into their own league. I'd pull them off of here and actually make it a schedule and let it track. And actually, as this builds up, I'm thinking we should make it into maybe a season just to see how the Nuffseds do against teams from, let's say, 1920. What we will play, I did promise World's Worst Gamer we'd put the 1927 Yanks in here. So say from 1927 on, and see how our Nuffseds do. Except we got to bolster the pitching staff a little bit. That's my only worry, because we've got Alexander, Radbourne, Waddell, Mathewson, and Johnson. That's all we have. Seattle Pilots, one of the unluckiest franchises ever. Yeah. Is our Ken Castro? Yes, it is. I thought about starting it right after the Ned McGreevy World Series, actually, so next week. Looking forward to that, especially the first, what is it, the A's and Red Sox? Yeah, the 1912 Red Sox and 1911 A's in that first round. That's going to be fun. Robbie says Big Clue could manage the Reds. If you know what, if Big Clue was into it, I would do what we did, that Steve Tate and I did, do some head-to-head. I would certainly welcome playing Big Clue head-to-head. I think it'd be a lot of fun. Big Clue's super cool, knows his baseball despite being a Reds fan. So yeah. You know, he already went to sleep. I can't pick on him, man. He's not in here. So I'll say that again tomorrow night, that he's a very knowledgeable baseball fan and cool person despite being a Reds fan. So, yeah. Alright, guys, this is down to where we can just chat for a little bit, and then we're going to call it a night. Let's look at the rules here. Yeah, these don't really mean anything. Oh, this has a little 10-minute ticker. I forgot that Action PC has that. Yes, exit. No one's above getting picked on here. Exactly. Yeah, exciting projects on the horizon. So Steve Tate was in here earlier and again gave his kind permission for me to go, gave me the go-ahead. He's going to get an updated file for me. So we're going to have some Negro League Baseball. We have the Ned McGreevy World Series. We have the Ken Castro Corn League Tournament. And I don't know what else we're going to do. Lots more. I forget. We're going to do stuff. We're not only going to play these Ned McGreevy's more against some of these teams, but we have a couple set up here. A 72 Pirates Reds. Great idea by Robbie Wartburg to make it a best-of-7 type of series and see if Big Clue would be willing to manage actually on voice. What else do we have here that we can do? We're going to redo or revisit and talk about and play the 1951 Giants-Dodgers game, the shot heard around the world. And I'm probably going to put in Discord, asking you guys for some other iconic games. It would be fun that as we play them, obviously they're not going to play out as they did, but we can talk about those games in the chat as we're playing them. So the 1951 Dodgers-Giants game will be the first iconic game we'll visit. And there's so many throughout baseball. Don't be shy to put them in Discord, and I wish John DFW would come in and so I could ask him if I could get co-ownership of Discord or something, or if he would sign it over to me, because I don't think he's going to shut it down, but we can't add any new channels to it, unfortunately. JT Dutch says any 1970s baseball is exciting to him. If he ever gets around to doing a replay on YouTube, it would be 1975. Keeping the funk alive in 1975. Great season. And one of the greatest World Series of all time. I don't think anybody could argue against that. That 1975 World Series was just classic in every sense of the word. World's worst game versus Beatles. Pie Trainer, 113 runs batted in so far in 128 games without a single home run in his 1928 replay, is that? Might end up with the record for the most RBI in a season without a single home run. Wow, that is crazy. That is crazy. As Ken Castro says, 1870s is exciting to him. And Tim99 agreeing with JT Dutch on the 1970s. Great decade for baseball. Oh my God, right? So we have time here for a few minutes, guys. I'm going to install one more thing so that we can just look at it. We're just going to look at it. We're not going to do anything with it. Another thing. It's a Dave Cook product, and it's really cool. That I like. So this is called 1970s Best Franchise, and something that Dave Cook cooked up, if you'll pardon my expression. So what these are, he's done these for each decade, is the best record, best team for that decade. And so we could look through here and some just absolute stuff. I mean, look at Texas, man. I don't know what year this was for the Rangers. 1977. So Robbie, last night when Christopher Slovic was asking for your 6 favorite baseball teams of all time, surprised you didn't pick this Texas Rangers squad. Jeez. Toby Harrow, Mike Hargrove. You had Bump Wills, Burt Campaneris, Jim Sundberg, Willie Horton, Juan Beniquez. I mean, there's some damn fine players on here. Who else do we... Well, let's look at the Phillies for Ken. So this is the 1976 Phillies. You guys all know these players. Do we even have to go through them? There you go. 77 Rangers had 4 different managers, says JT Dutch. Ken is actually playing a 1975 Red Sox game right now. Robbie Wartburg. Robbie, you work for the Texas Rangers. and I'm 2,000 miles away from you. Come on, dude. That's who you work for. The Dodgers. Let's look at those Dodgers for JT Dutch. 1974 Dodgers. Again, Bill Russell, Ron Say, Steve Garvey, the Toy Cannon, Jimmy Wynn, Davey Lopes, Billy Buckner, Willie Crawford. Come on, man. There's Steve Yeager, Joe Ferguson, Tom Paciorek. I mean, these guys are amazing, right? Manny Mota. Lee Lacy getting a little bit of playing time in there that year. And again, these teams, I'll be clearing these not availables when we play them. Dodgers were great. Dodgers, Pirates, Reds in the 1970s. Oakland A's, right? Might as well. Let's see, who did he... So Oakland in 1970. There they are. 1972, Oakland A's playing in that crappy Coliseum. Bando Campaneris, Rudy Epstein, Reggie Jackson. Tough. Okay, yeah, but so Robbie, I'm really into 1908, and I wasn't born in 1908. Come on, dude. Come on, man. Come on, Robbie, make us proud. I mean, I got to pick on you because you work for the Rangers. Fun stuff. I don't know who else. Well, I mean, I'm not going to look at the Pirates. Let's look at the Reds. Let's look at these Cincinnati Reds from Porkopolis. Cesar Geronimo, Pete Rose, Joe Morgan, Johnny Bench, Dave Concepcion, Tony Perez, George Foster, Ken Griffey. I mean, holy shit. Pitchers. You had Billingham, Nolan, Don Gullett, 15-4 that year, the 2.42 earned run average. That was you're right. I mean, great decade. You had Raleigh Eastwick and Will McEnany as their firemen. Ken Castro saying, dude, I'm immersed in 1884. Was I born then? You know, LOL. The Reds were definitely beasts. PQ River says, as much as I always hated Pete Rose after he spiked Harrelson in the playoffs, never forgave him. Rose was a bit of a jerk, crashing into Ray Fosse in the All-Star game, too. That was kind of a dick move. So I'm just going to put this in here for Robbie. Just thought I would. There we go. I just had to. Ty Cobb syndrome, yeah. But I mean, it's the All-Star game. Holy hell. If it was a World Series, totally excusable. But in the All-Star game, that was just a dick move, man. JT Dutch says, yeah, Pete was a bully. He went out of his way to be a dirty player. You don't hit a guy in the All-Star game. That was really crap. There's no denying Rose's talent, but come on. Just not, that was so not cool. Anybody else we should look at? Well, we're talking about the Chicago White Sox. Let's see. Let's look at hitters. I always like to look at hitters. This was a fine team. 90 and 72 in 1977. If you guys don't have these files, the decade files, these are really good to get if you have Action PC Baseball. Lots of fun to play with. There's some cool homebrews too. There's like somebody else did like an all-time franchise great per decade, which is a little different than this. So it's kind of like halfway between this and Steve Tate's 5-year files. There's Ralph Garr. Of course, I know Ralph Garr more as a Brave, but there's Ralph Garr, Oscar Gamble. So what? You only had one 300 hitter on here, or two. So Lamar Johnson and Ralph Garr. Ralph Garr hit 300 in 1977, and Lamar Johnson hit 302. Geeking out on stats, man. We're geeking out on stats. Ruined Fosse's career. I just watched that the other night. I was telling you guys about that Office Blokes channel, and it's a bunch of, I don't know if they sound like they're Aussies. But anyhow, regardless, they're reacting to baseball videos, and they were doing one on collisions at home plate, and they even reacted like more strongly to the Rose hit on Fosse than pretty much some of the others. They don't even know the history of the game. This wasn't, well, 1970s, not very fast. Oh, Giants. We got to look at the Giants. We looked at the Dodgers. So, with apologies to JT Dutch, we got to look at the Giants. Pretty good team there too. There's a lot of fun. I should I should do something with this 1970s. So I know there's a lot of interest in 70s baseball here too, and not a lot of content creators are doing as much 70s as they are some other stuff. So, but why not every once in a while do an 80s or 70s? I mean, 77 White Sox says JT Dutch were the coolest team ever. The Southside Hitmen. Harry Carey in the broadcast booth. Nancy Faust in the organ. Awesome. World's Worst Gamer says Oscar Gamble. There's a name he hasn't seen in ages. Alright, I'm sorry. I said I wouldn't look at them, but I have to. There's my Pittsburgh Pirates 1972. Also a beastly team. Pirates only sub 500 in 1973, the year after, right, that first season, after Clemente's untimely death. Oh, this is $71. I thought it was $72. $71. There they are. So Pirates, Reds, Giants, Dodgers, Powers in the National League. Pretty good team there. Only 2 Hall of Famers, though. 3. I'm sorry, Bill Mazeroski, though he shouldn't be in there. 3 Hall of Famers, and as far as pitchers, no Hall of Famers. Steve Blass, after 1972, just started losing it. And some people attribute Blass's, as a psychological thing. He and Roberto Clemente were so close. And a lot of insiders said that Blass's just precipitous fall really could be traced back from Clemente's death. Who else do we want to look at here? What about those Cleveland Indians, man? Still winning record, 81-78. Rico Cardi, there's a pretty good player for you. Hit .310 that year. There's Boog Powell. He should be in a. Well, let me see. Let's look at Baltimore because so Powell also on a Baltimore team. So this wouldn't work so much for a league in and of itself if you don't like player, which I don't. I don't like player duplication, but good stuff. You guys have any teams you want to look at? We can look at them, but I know you guys all know 1970s baseball, so. The Indians originally had Craig Nettles and Chris Chambliss. P.K. River talking about the Bucks. Vic Davalillo, Richie Hebner. '76 Yankees. What Yankee team do we have? Yeah, 1977 Yankees. There's Nettles, Dent, Chambliss, Thurman Munson. God, what could have been with him? There's Willie Randolph, Reggie Jackson, Roy White, Mickey Rivers, Lou Piniella, Paul Blair, of course, near the end of his career. There's Jimmy Wynn. He's kind of everywhere, too. So, Robbie, you had a hell of a team there. And there, we were talking about Seattle, not so good yet. Seattle would come into its own later. Willie Horton, a DH. There's Bruce Boak. There's Mario Mendoza. There he is. The great Mario Mendoza. Gotta love him. can't think of anybody else to really. Padres pretty decent. There's Ozzie Smith. Oh yeah, the Cardinals. Holy shit. Gotta look at the Cardinals, man. Identical win-loss records. These, I think it is the Cardinals and the Rangers. That'd be fun to play them just in a one-off. All right, JT Dutch, thanks for coming in and wasting some time with us, man. I'm going to wind it down here soon. I have to be at work in 13 hours, which is no big deal. I only need 6 hours of sleep, so. Robbie, you going to do a game? If you are, I'm going to cut it off here. So I have two goals, right? Get Robbie doing his Sabre stuff, and also to get him to play some action PC baseball. It's a cool game, man. Maybe not on his channel, but just for fun. Anyhow, Robbie doing 1920 American League. Oh, he has to work from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. What do you do? Because you do sports stuff. Who's doing anything at 7 a.m., Robbie? Is this like some basketball madness or what? Robbie putting in a 12-hour day. PQ Rivers at 6 a.m. every day. Yeah, next week, man, I'm like 7 a.m. all 3 days. I'm like stoked. Oh my God. Okay. Ugh. Rodeos, man. I don't even want to even talk about that shit. That and bullfighting needs to vanish from the face of the earth. Anyhow, you're a nap master. PQ River, I'm all about the naps, buddy. And you know what? I was 17 years old. I already knew. When I was 17, I knew the beauty, the wonder, the magic of the afternoon nap, dude. Loved it. Loved it, loved it, loved it. So, all right. Well, this was fun, guys. Thank you very much for hanging out tonight and geeking out on some rosters and stats and all this kind of stuff. And look at Montreal, pretty good. What team was this? I'm sorry. I'm almost going to stop, I promise. There's the 79 Montreal Expos. Tough team, man. Tough team. You had the Hawk, Larry Parrish, Ellis Valentine, Gary Carter, may his memory be eternal. So we see Tony Perez, obviously, is going to be in this league twice. Dave Cash in the league 3 times. Ken Castro, an Apple friend of mine, did a Sabre presentation on Rap Dixon earlier this week. Missed that, but he'll be in the Negro League games on Action PC. Yep, Rap Dixon. Probably going to put him on the All-Star games. We're definitely going to see Rap Dixon anyhow. Yeah, you play Action PC, Robbie. It's a great game, dude, and I know you have it. So, doctor's appointment 9 a.m. for Ken. Then nap, and then plural, and games the rest of the day. That, boy, love it. Spire forgot he went there, took Foley's spot. Talking about Montreal. I always hate because I always have fun. We get into these great things and geeking out on stats and rosters and things like that. And it's like, man, I don't want to quit. This is too much fun. But I guess we have to. Oh my God, Robbie. Robbie has Action PC Baseball, but he says Action PC Baseball doesn't have Ernie. PQ Rivers off to Slumberland. And I think I'm going to probably watch a documentary. I've been watching one of William the Conqueror. That's kind of good stuff. So, also known as William the Bastard. So probably going to watch that. And also it's also about the last British King of England, King Harold. Harold Godwinson was actually the last Britisher to actually sit on the throne, and actually from a family, right? Boom, 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 boom. Harold Godwinson. So, little trivia for you there. Oh, you guys are swearing in my chat. I can't believe this. So I guess I should have mentioned, there is one so-called sport that I hate worse than F-ball, and that's rodeo, because those animals are extremely, extremely abused. So I'll have no truck with it myself. Robbie, I'm glad you don't follow that stuff. Rodeo is cruelty, period. You know why Broncos buck like that. It's not nice. Rodeo is a cruel, cruel thing, and it needs to go away, along with bullfighting and greyhound racing. It's horrible. But I'm not going to get started. Whatever. Animals, though, right? That's not cool. It's just not cool. Anyhow. Gotta make a living, Robbie. I get it, dude. It's not your fault there's a rodeo. Ken Castro saying Cuba has 1 hit through 6 innings. Go Netherlands. Go Netherlands. Yeah, they use electric prods to get them riled up. No, cousin, you didn't know. I should have said from the very beginning. Don't feel badly. It's terrible. 1-1 in the 6th, so the Netherlands holding its own against a baseball power. I got to root for them. I mean, I lived in the Netherlands for a while, so I have to root for them. World's Worst Gamer says he watched a video on Mike Eichhorn earlier. Argument was made for him being one of the best relievers ever. Hey, Netherlands. You ever been? It's actually a fun country. Ugly language, but fun country. And all their good baseball players come from Suriname, by the way. Bert Blyleven, the first Dutchman in the Hall of Fame. I'm not Dutch, but I did live there and learned the language, and did a couple women over there. It was fun. Yeah. Ken, you've been. It's a nice country. The people are... They're interesting. They're really cool. The Dutch know how to party, man. If you want to hang out with some people that can party, everybody thinks of the Brits and the Irish. The Dutch are off the hook when it comes to parties. Whew. Great. Tell you what, the great audiences to play to if you're a musician or if you're a performer. I've done magic for the Dutch. They love it. But they'll call you out if you suck, too. And that's I think another reason why I love Dutch audiences. A lot of fun. Not that I would ever live in Holland again, but it was. I would certainly visit again. All right. Well, anyhow, guys, thanks a lot. For you guys coming in, because I said there wasn't going to be baseball tonight, and there was. There was. So, World's Worst Gamer, like some of their national soccer teams, the women's. So if you feel like checking out some nice images, just look at the Netherlands women's soccer team, and I'll leave you with that beautiful visual. Cousin Ken knows of that of which I speak. All right, my big heartfelt thanks seriously to World's Worst Gamer, to Ken Castro, to Robert Wartburg, PQ River, JT Dutch, always just such a treat to have him in here. My paisan, Pib99, in the ballpark tonight. Nice active chat tonight. It was good to see it. Aaron Reed was hanging out with us for a little while. Always good to have Aaron in. New convert to action PC baseball. He is absolutely addicted, and that makes me happy. Big Clue was here. RJO Network was here. Check out his 1988 replay on Inside Pitch Cards and Dice. And we're done. Robbie's going to sleep now. Ken Castro says he's competed against Dutch athletes in the past. They're intense. They're an intense people. They don't come across as that. When you meet, you meet Dutch people and they seem like they're pretty chill, they're laid back. But you get them involved, music, sports, whatever. That you're right, man. Boy, that's an experience, and they're intense in other ways too. They are an intense people, and very proud. I mean, Rotterdam is that was bombed flat by the Nazis, and they rebuilt that. Rotterdam is such an amazing city. That's where I lived over there, Europe's largest port city, and it was literally, I mean, there was nothing left, and they rebuilt it, and it's an amazing city. Everybody talks about going to Amsterdam. Go to Rotterdam. Go to Rotterdam. It's so much fun. Rotterdam is crazy fun. All right, gents. Be good. As far as I know, no baseball tomorrow. But Thursday, what are we doing Thursday? I think we're going to have baseball Thursday. We're going to have one game Thursday night. No, we'll probably have two games Thursday. Friday night, if you guys are into some baseball, we're going to do some games Friday night. Saturday, no baseball because I'll be with hopefully with the female particle on Saturday. So, no baseball on Saturday and some baseball on Sunday. So there we go. Tomorrow night should be our only baseball-less night. Yep, Ken Castro been there. He says Rotterdam is outstanding. It is. It's such a fun city. Amsterdam is like super touristy now, but Rotterdam is great. The people are cool. They have great music festivals in the Netherlands as well. The only thing I hate about the Netherlands is the language. Dutch is ugly, but luckily most Dutch people speak English, and they like Americans. They hate Brits, but they like Americans. So there you go. So Robbie, we're not going to see Robbie at all. So, all right, Robbie. Well, I'm glad you're going to earn some coins so that you can get some of those nice books out there on eBay on baseball. I think that'd be great. Take care, my friends, and we'll see you Thursday night. Until then, take care, be safe, roll up tons of games, screw off at work, take naps, drink a Guinness, read Saber journals. Robbie Wartburg. All right, you're welcome, cousin. See you guys around the batting cage. Thank you. Good night.